show is for adults, by adults, using adult language, role playing adult situations, and possible controversial topics. No situations or topic reflects the views of the Dungeon Master or the players in real life. You have been warned. Da 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 da. Da 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 da. Da 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 da.
Hey, Zarius.
Hello. Who's that?
I'm that terribly creepy villain you've been working on.
Oh.
I had some thoughts about some terribly overpowered abilities that I could use against your players as they fight wave after wave of my seemingly endless minion horde.
That sounds really fun, but I don't know where my notebook is right now for my dungeon notes.
You fool! You should be using World Anvil.
World Anvil? What's World Anvil?
World Anvil has everything you need to start creating and building
Really?
your world. You can upload maps, make character or villain profiles, timelines, update world lore, and much, much more.
Yeah, that sounds like a good idea. I'm gonna have to definitely sign up for... Why are you laughing like that?
I said
That
at
kind
the
of
start. That kind of person, y'all are the only fucking wild and
Alright, everybody, welcome.
Hey, welcome everybody to the campaign tonight.
I was trying.
We started campaigns with way worse. Some of the words we've jumped in on Saturday have left scars. Anyways,
at least it's not me yelling a word again.
welcome everybody to Vow the Keepers episode 20. Welcome back. And as usual, we will pass it over to the Mistress of Ceremonies, GM Kim.
Oh, hey, that's me. Hey, everybody. Hi. Welcome to episode 20. Wow. I really thought I would have accidentally killed you by now. As always, we like to open up by reminding everyone that we are proudly sponsored by World Anvil, which has everything that you need to start creating and building your world. You can sign up for free and get started right away at worldanvil.com. You can also join their Discord at the links in chat, which should be that way. We also extend a thanks to Roll20 for their generous support, providing us with a pro account and core books, so I can occasionally show you guys my horrific attempts at battle maps and things of that sort. We're in a sub-goal, working our way towards a Wormwood, Dice Tower, Dice Tray giveaway bonanza-y thing, which will be super awesome, as they do super high-quality stuff, and ooh-ah, shiny. Well,
Dice giveaway at 300 followers, too.
Oh, yeah? Ah. Ooh.
Yeah.
That's news to me. That'll be fun. Prizes galore as we work our way towards these various goals and awards and tiers and blah blah blah. So, where we left off last week, we were working on the visits to the Department of Transportation, negotiations with the kingdom's tax collection department, real estate deal, met with some lenders, worked out a loan terms, got a generous interest rate, all things considered. You have some sketchy stuff in your credit history that we won't reveal on stream. There's our, and you stopped after inviting damn near half the city to dinner. The Marcelheim ambassador finally agreed to take you up on that invitation. You left her office to go off and buy supplies for dinner, you know, home cook from scratch, whip up something real fancy. A few hours have gone by at this point, and we're going to open up with her arriving in the evening of that day at the front door, ready to join everyone for dinner. And since it's at the townhouse, everyone is back in for this. Shelly and Lucy had spent the day at the house while everyone else wandered off to go do their various side adventures. So we'll all be here for this as it unfolds, and we'll open up with sort of a knock, knock, knock at the door.
Will somebody please go get the dough? I've got to get the duck out of the oven.
It's there.
It's the ambassador. It's Ashling's.
It's the ambassador. It's Ashling's who?
Oh my god. I go over and open up
Finnegan.
the door. Welcome, Ambassador. Welcome.
So standing at the door is the actual ambassador. Now that you sort of know what to watch out for, given past experiences, and she is dressed quite nicely. A bit. It's not just business formal. She's in a bit of a like what you would expect her to wear to some sort of embassy dinner kind of showy affair. Not evening gowns, but sort of halfway in between. Like she's dressed up nice for this meal. Two very expensive looking bottles of wine in tow, and she's like, I hope I'm not too early. I can come back if you're not quite ready for me.
No, please come in. Have a seat. Make yourself comfortable while we wait for dinner. Please.
So you escort her in. She comes in, sits down.
Do we have like a study in this house?
Yes, there would be that kind of like a lounge space.
Okay, so I would lead her to the study.
She'll hand over the wine. You'll want to let those breathe for a few minutes. They should be quite nice once you do, though.
Of course.
And she hands over the wine that she brought with her.
Cool. I will set up the wine. I'm sure there's all the stuff
Back
for
in the
that.
kitchen area, Zara's gonna kind of like shove a tray at Lucy and be like, "Take these in there. They're snacks until dinner's ready." And Zara's like dressed up, sort of nice as well, but he's got like this apron on over everything because he's cooking. So it's probably a comical sight to see as he's like being very meticulous not to get himself dirty, and he's fussing like over every little detail.
And Lucy is probably helping him keep him clean.
Yeah.
That she has knowledge of like proper high society kind of deal.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, but basically like little miniature cucumber sandwiches is what he handed you on a plate.
She kind of looks at them and like, well, okay. Just not have too many because of what you prepared then, I assume?
Well, I think 5 courses. Do you think 5 courses is enough?
Jesus Christ.
That is exactly why I said not to make too many little... I'll just tell them that, yeah. I'll figure something out. She just goes like, oh my lord, 5, that is way too many. I told him not to make 5, but I guess we're going with 5. So she's gonna walk dressed quite nicely, because she does have a spare of nice dressing clothes, and she's gonna offer, I guess, she's not alone in the study, I hope, right? Somebody's
I'm
with
in
her
there.
in the study.
I'm in there.
Okay.
I don't know
so
if Finnegan joined us or not.
you're gonna see Lucy coming in with the platter, waiting while the many courses of dinner are prepared by Czar.
So take one. Oh, these are quite nice. Didn't know you had such a talent in the kitchen.
Oh, well, Czar has quite many talents. Making fine diner seems to be one of them. And she's gonna set the platter down and gonna go back to the kitchen to help Czar.
Yes, we are a multifaceted group. Well, I hope your trip over here was, wasn't too bad.
No. I appreciated the invitation. Especially after the events of the last few days, I'm glad we could have this opportunity to interact in perhaps a less formal and she kind of a less strict sense.
Yes, yes, less procedural. Yes, yes, yes. Yeah, we figured it was a good time to have some, just a relaxing dinner with some of the people. I don't know if anybody else Czar invited will be coming or not. We will find out. So. But please, make yourself at home, relax. And I will, obviously I get the wine ready. I set it out, letting it air for a bit while. And once it does, I'll pour out some drinks.
Finnegan, take this bread and put it on the table.
Seems very enthused about this dinner. Which go ahead, Czar, since you're doing most of the cooking here, go ahead and make a, let's say, performance check at advantage.
Yeah. See if breaking all the fingers of those cooks paid off for the recipes.
Oh.
Okay. So the prep seems to be going well. Food's turning out like you were hoping to. Presentation on like your plating skills are doing decently well. You're like, oh, I'm not actually bad at this. The hors d'oeuvres course that you sent out to the study of the ambassador, she's quite enjoying. So far, so good on that front, at least.
All right. I'm gonna take like this bowl of salad and like kind of shove it toward Chili. All right, get this on the table, and then let the ambassador know we're ready to begin the meal.
I'm guessing nobody else shows up from his invites.
I doubt it.
That's what I was asking.
We never know.
I'm guessing nobody else has showed up yet from the invites. So.
Oh no, nobody else is. You're not really expecting anyone else to turn up either.
All right. Retcon, I shove the salad at Finnegan when he comes back from setting the bread on the table.
Eat all this?
Well, maybe. If not, we'll have leftovers for tomorrow.
So, bread and salad are on the table. You're working on your sort of main entree courses, your primo and first and second plates. And we're doing this Italian style, and then I'm assuming you have a dessert course in there somewhere as well.
Yes.
And then the wine is flowing at this point. They're probably a good glass or two in. You can see the ambassador is not being shy about her wine consumption.
Well, it is very good
Right.
wine. It is very good wine. So.
It's quite high quality wine, but you can tell that she's trying to sort of deal with the nervousness of the situation in perhaps not the wisest of methods,
Well,
but she's doing the best she can to.
Kinley would be drinking a glass or two as well because she's not a social butterfly either.
And she's the one stuck in there to socialize with the ambassador.
Yes.
I don't think Lucy can get drunk anyways, right? Because
You can get drunk?
Are you immune to alcohol and poisoning?
I don't know, she's immune to diseases.
No, it's a
That's
poison,
not
not a disease.
alcohol.
Okay.
Well, then you're
I
immune
got
to becoming
confused.
an alcoholic.
No, she's
Okay.
she's
Yeah,
immune to cirrhosis.
Yeah, the
Yeah,
liver's gonna take that like a champ, but we're gonna feel it.
You will wake up with regrets.
Nah, Lucy would not indulge too much with alcohol because
You could be a sneaky cheat about it and down the wine and then just lay on hands yourself every like 20 minutes or so. Just, oh hey, I'm sober again.
That
So-
would win a drinking contest for sure.
What a way
Yeah.
cheat a drinking contest.
So Czar will like get the other remaining courses ready for after we finish the salad, and then he'll kind of head to the dinner table and ring a little bell to signify the food's ready.
Ah, Ambassador, it seems that dinner is served.
Oh, fantastic! I'm looking forward to seeing what else you've prepared for this occasion.
Well, let's see what Czar has. I have not even seen what he's cooking, so it's a big surprise to both of us.
You work your way into the dining room where everything's laid out nice. You broke out the finest china that your generous rental townhouse had to offer you. And everyone sits down to a lovely dinner. Everything's tasting good. Czar did a nice solid job on this one. And have you, aside from our little episode, have you been enjoying your time in Umlaut? Have things been productive for you here?
For the most part, we're still waiting on some word back from the city council about some ventures we would like to take. And actually, earlier today, I secured a loan and actually purchased a piece of property in Umlaut proper.
Oh, another keeper looking to call Umlaut home. That's should make everyone feel quite a bit safer, I would imagine.
One would hope. Kinley and I needed places to develop our craft, so seemed Umlaut would be the place to do that. It is sort of in the center of everything, so to speak. So a reasonable choice.
Yes, it's a bit different from home, but I've quite enjoyed my time being stationed here. It's been enlightening to spend time amongst the kingdoms this way.
Absolutely, it is definitely an experience. And speaking of the kingdoms, Ambassador, have you heard anything on how the war is going?
We're at a nice dinner and you want to talk about war.
Talking shop.
Yeah.
It's talking shop.
It's
Yeah.
talking shop.
Mm.
Oh,
That's what you do.
Well, the war's been this recent shift in events have been a bit of a thing, from what I've heard. Our department isn't exactly tied into the front lines, but we do hear our bits and pieces. It's been a bit of a stalemate for quite some time now, but the assault on the keepers and this dome business, they've the enemies somewhat turned the tide on us a bit. They've been making unexpected headway in a few places, and we suspect that the insurrectionists may be helping them undermine our efforts, but we're not really sure about all that just yet. Different kingdoms have been giving conflicting reports on how aggressive they've been. Some report that they're sort of tiptoeing around, while others are almost in outright a rebellion. It's quite a mess outside of the dome here. We've been maintaining the peace as best we can.
Unfortunately, one thing that we've learned is many times you cannot expect a kingdom to provide accurate information to the Empire about exactly what's going on for fear of the strong arm of the Empire itself.
Yes, we have their best interest at heart, though they don't always see it that way.
Exactly, Ambassador. It is refreshing to sit down with a meal and conversate with someone that understands. sips his wine. So, um,
I don't think that's a word.
what's not a word, Shelley?
Conversate? I think you just meant converse.
Just tilt my head over towards Shelley.
Hi.
Lucy trying the best to keep the laugh in. Like,
You,
Oh,
you,
I'll pull up my fake phone and bring up, and I'm gonna Kinley it. Is it spelled right?
you'd see Czar kind of like get a little bit of flush of color to his face of maybe embarrassment, as you know he is not the best learned person in the group, considering he had to teach himself how to read and write. But that's fine if people want to make fun of it.
aww.
So if you've been enjoying the wine, I need you to go ahead and make a Constitution saving throw.
All right. Czar hasn't been enjoying it heavily, but he has been enjoying it.
For Lucy.
Okay. So far, everyone's doing fine. You can tell that this wine's got a little bit of kick to it. It's it's sort of along with the quality level is that it's got some strength to it, but it doesn't seem to be slowing the ambassador down much. She's at least a glass, maybe a glass and a half ahead of you guys, but she seems to be doing okay so far. Quite, composed, and her speech is all fine and things like that, but she's putting it away.
Good. Everything is proceeding to plan.
At some point before, when it's not too noticeable, Shelly would want to do a quick detect magic scan early on, just to
Okay.
make sure that she's not like an illusion or something.
No.
Becky.
You do a you do a detect magic, and everything seems to be on the up and up. No sort of like tricky illusion magic or anything of that sort.
Czar glows.
Her
So,
wristlet that she has seems to have the same kind of an aura as a bag of holding wood, but aside from that, she doesn't seem to have any sort of magic items, magic clothes, magic auras, none of that kind of stuff, aside from that one glow.
So Czar would, during the conversation and after the salad and stuff is done, he would present the part of the main course, which would be kind of like a roasted duck with an orange sauce. So, orange
You
duck
went
in it.
all out.
With some, like roasted red potatoes with some garlic and chives and all of that to go along with it.
Fancy.
And she is horribly offended because it turns out her adopted mother was an Aarakocra, and you should have known that, you bastard. No, I'm just kidding.
I'll eat her servings.
So it's you really have gone all out for this. I'm honored, I suppose. I wasn't sure what to expect, given your circumstances, but this is very nice.
Trust me, Ambassador, the honor is all mine. I so very rarely, and I kind of look over toward Shelley, get the chance to cook for such fine company.
That's a burn and a half.
Hey, she calls me illiterate. I'm going to say that she's a bad dinner guest.
You wouldn't be wrong.
So, meal continues progressing. Lots of little idle chit chat, small talk, things of that sort. You see her manners are impeccable, so there's a lot of like small bites and things of that sort going on. Um, Working from the outside in on all the utensils and the correct forks in the right places and all that kind of fun stuff. You can tell that she knows what she's doing as an ambassador.
But Shusi would probably taught Zar about that if he didn't know that.
Zara is much the kind of person that observes and mimics, so it probably not as sophisticated, but passable. So as that course would finish, and the next, which would be kind of like breads and cheeses after the meal, to kind of cleanse the palate for the dessert. He'll take another little sip of his wine. So, Ambassador, you mentioned the insurrection earlier this evening. Have there been any reports on the island of them? We did encounter them, as you well know, and unfortunately, that is how we got separated from Fieldkeeper Silverheart. On his, he kind of pauses, like, I'm not going to talk about his exploding head on Shelly during dinner. During that unfortunate event, have you heard of any other uprisings on the island, perhaps involving the insurrectionist?
Well, I'm afraid a lot of the ambassadors are a little reluctant to chat with me on such matters. I can't imagine why, but they seem to be tiptoeing around a bit on the island here. They're not as overt as they've been in some of the other places from what the reports that we've been hearing. Most of the other ambassadors here, if you asked them to their face, they would swear up and down that their kingdoms are absolutely peaceful. But with this dome, people are starting to get a little nervous. Things are starting to get a little tense. We're concerned about how long we'll be able to keep things that way. There's some.
Yes.
We're not worried about scarcity. The island is large enough to be self-sufficient. We can open some new farmland and things of that sort, coordinate that effort. But this level of magic is something most people on this island don't see ever in their lives, let alone for days on end, and they're getting edgy.
Yes, well, I assure you, Ambassador, and you can assure the other ambassadors, should the conversation arise, that we are working very diligently to track down the root of the problem and deal with it to make sure that dome comes down.
Yes, I think their concern more than anything is this troubling news coming out of the Druidic Alliance, things that run contrary to the Empire's goals, plus the island being domed. They're worried that this is not your doing, but your doing, if you know what I mean.
Yes, I'm aware. We've come across a lot of resistance. Unfortunately, what is happening in the Druidic Alliance could not have been avoided, considering the betrayal of some of the members of the Council in Bardolphus and the triggering of the dome by the death of the tree. needless to say, we don't know everything about it. However, some form of failsafe magic, old pre-imperial, exists around the island, and apparently it was triggered when the earthquakes and the actions of cultists actually killed or began the decay of that tree. So, old magic, we saw best to sort of reinstitute some of the old ways in that area in hopes of fixing the problem and perhaps placating the magic that was activated to raise the dome to begin with. It's all we had to go on at the time, and it still seems to be our best bet, but we are doing what we can.
Just cultists in this day and age, I thought all of them were wiped out when the original decree was made.
So did we. Unfortunately, we have learned that there is at least one cult that is active on the island that we are pursuing. Finnegan, would you be as kind to show the ambassador the necklace?
Sure. I bring out the necklace and even. I mean, how he's gonna present it is this is the necklace that I showed you the first time you were not you.
Yes, apparently when you were shown this originally, you were not you, but apparently Truekeeper niece, from what we understand.
So have you sorted that out then? That would be a huge relief. You seemed
We
No.
are
quite worried when that all first started to unravel.
we are still worried. However, I would say we're 70% sure it was the Truekeeper. Apparently, according to Bella, she likes to pull tricks like this.
Hardly seems like the time for such things.
I would agree, but it is not my place to question a Truekeeper. But yes, this is the symbol that marks the cult. They are, from what we've learned, demon worshippers and are trying to find way to summon their, I don't know what you would call them, patrons to the island for whatever means. We do believe that there is also a connection, as you do with the opposing army versus the Empire, connections between the cultists and the uprisings as well. So all of this seems to be, on some level or another, interconnected together.
So you think the cultists are trying to overthrow the Empire?
I'm not sure if the cultists are trying to overthrow the Empire or if they are just helping other parties who may be causing insurrection with the Empire to keep the Empire busy and blind to their true motives. Well, if we're looking over here at something, it leaves them free to go over here and do something else.
It's an awful lot of needless bloodshed for a distraction. That's
Well, we are
horrible.
talking about demon worshippers. I'm sure the loss of life is not something they're really worried about.
At this point, everyone can. You're decently through dinner and your bread and cheese, although, of course, you're rolling into sort of up into dessert, so everyone can make another round of con saves if you continue to enjoy the wine throughout the meal. If you feel like you've hit your limit and stopped politely.
Czar's still good. This is the best wine he's ever drank, so he's gonna enjoy it.
That's the kind of wine you'd have to steal if you wanted to drink it.
Yep. Especially on our salary.
Yes.
Wait, we have a salary?
Well, normally you would, but currently you're inside of a big bubble.
Yeah.
Making it a little tricky to get the paycheck direct deposited into your account.
The way I have my savings account set up is it takes 3 business days.
Yeah, 10% goes into saving, 10% goes into stock,
Mm-hmm. Yeah, I automatically can convert a chunk of it into a gift card every month just in case.
Yeah,
Just covering the bases. Anyway, so you can see that the wine is starting to catch up to the ambassador a little bit. She's not sloppy. She knows how to handle herself in a formal situation. But you can tell that she's a little warm in the face at this point. We're going to be euphemistic about her inebriation. And
then it is definitely time to break out the rum cake and chocolate sauce.
Pretty.
That's not mean whatsoever.
no,
Nope, not at all. Don't know what you're talking about.
hopefully she can count on her newfound friends to be. Anyway, we're not.
Taking advantage of her? Yeah.
Yeah. So, just you hand over the cult symbol for her to take a look at, or you just kind of show it off at a distance, or.
Yeah, I'd give it to her.
Okay. So she kind of looks it over a little bit, and there's a little bit of haze in there. But it's kind of looking at it. Feel like I've seen not this necklace. I've seen this before though. There's something familiar about it. And she's thinking, it's just escaping me at the moment. I'm not, but it feels familiar. Not a deja vu, but I just need to give me a minute. I'm sure I'll think of it eventually. And she passes it back over to you as she picks up the wine and takes another sip.
Yep. And Czar will just kind of nod his head and let that go for now. We can always ask her about it again later. What I say, I am truly pleased that you decided to accept our invitation. It's very rare, as I'm sure someone of your station can understand. When you just get to sit down and have a nice meal, and someone isn't really overly intimidated by your presence or station, where you can just be more of yourself and enjoy the evening as opposed to being avoided by everyone around you.
Yes, the kingdoms have always been a little at arm's length, perhaps a bit our own fault, but we're doing it. Is there's always going to be that tension, I suppose, but fortunately this just happened to work out for me that I was able to accept at all. I have tomorrow off, so I could get away with coming to a dinner like this.
Well, that is wonderful. He'll slice the rum cake. Are you ready for dessert, Ambassador?
She kind of looks it over. It's like, I don't know if I should. It's already had such a lovely dinner. A dessert might just be a bit of an overindulgence, but she's clearly eyeing it up.
I'll slide it all. I'll slide it all. You know, take the piece and put it on the plate and drizzle the chocolate sauce over it. Are you sure? I did go through all of the trouble of baking it for you, Ambassador.
And it does look lovely. One slice wouldn't hurt that bad, would it? I mean, like I do have off tomorrow. I can sleep in a little. It'll be fine. And she just kind of takes like a little bit off with her fork and with. Oh, that is lovely.
Thank you. The chocolate sauce has rum in it too.
Of course it does.
And you know, with chocolate, you don't heat it that much, so that alcohol hasn't evaporated from the rum. So
Yeah.
Basically, what he's trying to say is he laced his entire dessert with more alcohol.
Well, the cake would have the flavor, but not the alcohol. The alcohol comes
because
from
of
the
the bake.
sauce.
The
Yes.
alcohol comes from the sauce.
Yeah.
The fact that she had already herself gone hard on the wine is putting her a bit behind the eight ball. She would have been fine if it was just a regular rum cake.
So there's like 5 bottles of wine sitting in the kitchen that they haven't had to use because she brought some. So you know.
No, I'm sure we have an extra room she can stay in if she needs to rest.
Oh, the scandal! An ambassador leaving in the scant hours of the morning from a house full of keepers.
Yeah, I know. She'll definitely find her way home from dinner. If
Wouldn't really be
someone
a
would
scandal
like
since
to
she's from Marcelheim.
escort her back to her home, that would be a very kind and appropriate thing for a keeper to do. But you can just let
Lucy
her
would
walk
follow
off
me.
into darkness if you want to. That would be fine too. What's the worst that could happen?
Becky.
A mugging.
Yeah. Becky put the hot swap in the middle of the dark alleyway somewhere.
Yep.
But so she's working through the dessert, enjoying it. It's very tasty. She's trying hard to resist and just stick to a slice of the cake. Mostly just not because of the rum cake, just because she's trying to like behave herself with dessert, kind of a thing. I'm so glad that you chose to come to Umlaut when you did. It's just, I mean, obviously these circumstances are less than ideal, but if you had been following Silverheart around, you probably would have missed the festival completely. As she's kind of having to double check her words a little bit, and as she says messed instead of missed, which was definitely on purpose on my part, I swear.
Yes, the festival. Can you tell us more about the celebrations?
Well, the cultural the cultural exchange festival that we have every year. It's the highlight of the year here in Umlaut. Well, at least Upper Umlaut. And all of the different embassies put booths out along the lakeside, and they all have little like sampler plates of their local cuisine and things of that sort. And then they do cultural exhibits, demonstrations, shows, all that kind of. It's a fantastic thing. It usually runs for like a week or two, and we're not expecting as big of a turnout as we normally would have, but we're doing it anyway as the sort of a stability thing. It's something everyone looks forward to every year, and it would feel like canceling it would just sort of be more do more harm than good at this point, I think.
Oh, yes. Well, we definitely are happy to be here during this time. Would you like another slice of cake?
Roll a persuasion check at advantage.
Will there be floats?
not that I know of. No, I don't think we have any on the schedule this year.
Dressed up. Are you gonna have like knights in shining armor on their horses parading around with like banners and stuff? At least.
Or perhaps an event where all of the ambassadors get together.
Will there be singing along this parade?
There's not typically a parade. I believe
You have a
Pactoro does some sort of jousting type tournament like you're describing there. They would definitely have something like that on their schedule, and singing is definitely something. I mean, again, the Valley of Inspiration, obviously, they're all about that sort of thing, and it's that we have a little bit of everything, and I'm personally, and the reason I take off tomorrow every year, it's the most impressive thing for me is watching them put it all up. The tomorrow night, once everything kind of shuts down for the evening and all the bars and taverns and everyone goes to, they put everything up in one night. The next morning you wake up and it's just festival. Boom. It's amazing to sit and watch. I love doing it. But I gotta sleep all day in order to stay awake all night. It's quite a thing. But I take off every year and go sneak off and watch them do it. It's very impressive. It's very cool.
Sounds like it. And are there any events, perhaps maybe at the conclusion of the festival or during, where all of the ambassadors get together and show like a public display of unity, or
At the end of the night, do we get to have fireworks?
he's basically fishing to find out if like all of the ambassadors get together, because to him that would signify a prime target for somebody to attack.
Mm-hmm.
So he's trying to, not alarm her, but try and know that something may be coming, because that would be like a high level hit job right there. You get all these ambassadors there, and then somebody starts popping heads off like they're Silverheart.
Mm-hmm. So she does catch that you specifically asked that question twice now, as she was sort of meandering through her explanation of the events, and I think, well, we have the ambassadors ball about halfway through the festival. We all get together, have a nice formal dinner and a little dancing. It's a lovely affair, and we're all out and about, glad handing in the different festival displays and things, trying to be among the people, but not really like a presentation kind of thing. No,
I was just wondering. I mean, a ball serves the same purpose. It shows the unity of the different kingdoms together in one place, enjoying each other's company. It definitely would highlight the virtues of the empire.
Yes, the Valley of Inspiration likes to use it as an opportunity to show off, in my opinion, but it's still a fun event.
From what I have learned of the Valley of Inspiration, they take any and all opportunities to do that. He kind of chuckles a little bit.
So you can see her, a little bit of her underlying bias slipping through a little bit as she kind of throws a little shade in their direction. All them fancy schmancy artists thinking they're all that hot shit. Kind of.
Yeah.
But yeah, so that's kind of where you're getting on that. She's had a fair bit of wine at this point, 2 slices of cake with a nice, I'm assuming, generous chocolate drizzle.
Oh yeah,
are letting up on her and being nice.
Well, Czar wants her to have a wonderful evening and also a loose tongue at the same time. Double-edged sword there.
Yeah. But yeah, is there anything else that anyone wants to bring up topic of conversation wise, chatter. Otherwise, I think the evening is sort of winding down at this point.
Just need her more sober to find out where she saw that symbol.
I think there is one thing that Czar would bring up, and he would kind of like cast a glance over at Kinley before speaking up. But eventually he would, and he would say, I heard the strangest rumor. Well, I wouldn't say heard. It was, we went across the information back in the Valley of Inspiration. Of course, if anyone was going to be hiding something, it would obviously be them. But we heard a rumor that there were once 5 kingdoms on the island instead of 4.
She looks decently confused at that. Like, just counting on her fingers and like, no, it's 4. It's us. Well, us. And the Valley of Inspiration, and Druidic Alliance, and then Fanalut. It's just a 4. Yeah.
Huh. Probably some tale a bard has weaved to try and stir up some controversy.
They like to embellish their stories. Everything's more dramatic. The hero slayed the dragon single-handedly, blah, 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 They may have just even struggled to count.
That's true. Well, Ambassador, it has been a lovely evening. It is getting late. Would you, like us, Lucy and I, to escort you back to your home?
That to kind of takes stock of herself for a second. That might be for the best. It's getting quite late, and she goes to stand up and kind of sits back down, like, yeah. We'll call it an evening, I think.
Take a minute, Ambassador. I do want to send you away with a parting gift. I will head to the kitchen, and I'll come back with like a little box, and I'll put the rest of the rum cake in it, and just drizzle the rest of the chocolate sauce over top of it.
Why would you do that? It's not gonna hold up overnight. It's gonna it's just me.
She can get home. She said she wanted to sleep all day. She can get home, attack the cake, get good and plastered, and get her rest out.
Our
Like,
ambassador
you
is
could
a
at least take her
total
home
lush.
with a leftover duck or something.
And only remember that she had a wonderful evening with the keepers.
You're supposed to remember this?
Our ambassador is a complete and utter lush.
That's fine.
It doesn't seem completely in character for her. It's a bit of a, like, I'm having dinner with a room full of keepers all by myself. This is fantastic. I just had them having a panic attack in my office a couple days ago because they thought they gave a spy secret information who looked like me, and this is going to be fantastic. Like, is that kind of a...
We are more than happy to set her mind at ease.
Yep.
And all things aside, she is definitely feeling a bit better about that whole situation. The way the evening's gone, everybody seems pretty, like, bygones be bygones on that front. So she's feeling good, and she's feeling good. But she, with Lucy and Czar on either side of her, she directs you back to her residence here in the Marcelheim district. You make it back okay, get her inside, drop her into bed. She's ready to out for the night. And you return back to the house uneventfully, and there you go. There's your evening.
Cool.
So perhaps once she sobers up, back with the party, she will have a little bit more information about those cultists. I think tonight went well.
Perhaps, yes.
Will she remember anything, though, with how much wine she's had?
We can always remind her later.
Everyone did really good with those constitution saves. I was expecting somebody to get drunk alongside her, and nobody did. I was just like, "Aw."
A lady does not get drunk.
I think.
Tell that to the ambassador.
I think we should all prepare. Perhaps get some clothes made if we don't have anything. Well, I myself will have to, but we should all plan on attending that ball. As if I'm not sure the rest of you kind of put it together, but having that many high-ranking representatives of the Empire together in one location would be a prime target for the cultists or insurrectionists.
That's or a
Are
prime
clothes
meeting spot for
mandatory?
them.
Not for you, Shelley. Perhaps we could paint your shell or something a little bit more festive.
Yeah. That'd be awesome.
Sounds wonderful. We'll paint your shell, we'll give you a little bow tie, it'll be amazing.
And
Oh.
you get there.
Stumbles a little bit, showing you that he too is actually kind of drunk. He's just holding it really well.
You're gonna get to the ball, and all of the other turtles are gonna be in like evening attire, and you're gonna be like, "I fucking knew it!" All this.
Uh,
Oh, no, just kidding.
The amount of material needed for a turtle, though.
It'd be a
Zar's just kind of like picking pieces off the duck with his hand at this point. That you know, he doesn't have to be fancy anymore. It's drunk, got the munchies, just picking at the food.
Yeah.
Lucy's completely fine.
Well, that went really well. And I would definitely say that we improved our relations, at least with Marcelheim, and word should get out that hopefully we're just like everyone else, just with a job to do.
Hopefully. And I got the feeling this celebration with all of the kingdoms there, not only a good place for an attack, but a good place for a meeting as well.
Yeah, absolutely. And I need to roll something and see how loose Zar's tongue actually is, because even though he did good on his concentration, he's kind of okay. I haven't heard anything back from the insurrectionists yet, so I guess word hasn't gotten out that things are in motion. He says this right out in front of Shelley and Finnegan.
Oh my
Zar, you're gonna see Lucy take your hand and do like this. Alright.
I just shake my head.
Shelly is going to on the low key, quietly under the table, cast levitate on Zar, and just lift him up 6 inches or so, just to make him feel weird.
He will vomit all over the table.
He does have a propensity for motion sickness.
I'm not cleaning that up.
I am not.
What?
Oh.
I just
Quit
wanted you
that.
to be like, whoa, the room is floating. Okay,
Just-
Presty, get that out of here.
You did it wrong. You did it wrong.
Yeah,
Do
'cause-
you not
I forgot about
remember
his
that he...
sickness.
Did we
Ever-
forget
ever-
about his seasickness, Shelley?
Yeah, that's such a weird thing. I've never known anybody with seasickness. How can you be sick at the sea?
You're a turtle.
But just sometimes pranks don't land, but it's okay. Magic makes
Lucy's
everything
kinda-
better.
That was
Lucy's
definitely
kinda
landed
tapping.
all over the table.
But
Literally. Lucy's just tapping Zar on the shoulder like, there. It's fine. You're alright.
Yeah, if you set him back down, he's gonna kind of put his hand on the table to steady himself. Oh, sorry. Oh, for a minute there, I felt
I'll
like
put
I
it
was on the
back down.
boat.
You were simply levitating, my dear.
Yeah, let's not do that.
Shelly simply forgot of your misadventures on the boat.
It's fine. Oh,
Would you perhaps like to go lay down?
no, I'm good. I'm good. Just no more movie, thank you. Just gonna sit down in his chair. Oh. Anyway, what was I saying?
Oh. Lucy kind of glances at Kinley. Like, are you telling him, or do I tell him that he just outed himself in front of everybody?
No, just don't say a word. I would just be like shaking my head. No.
Shelly's been,
Much.
sick and everything, so probably didn't pick up on it.
Oh, nothing that important.
Perhaps I will go to bed then.
Yes, perhaps you should.
Yeah. Or do you need help getting up?
No,
or are
I
you
don't.
fine?
No, I don't need help getting up. Just my stomach. Just
Go clean yourself
Ugh.
up and go to bed.
I'm pretty sure Shelly prestied everything. But yeah.
Okay, so you're gonna leave the kitchen in whatever state it's in,
Okay.
deal with it in the morning, kind of a thing.
yeah,
Lucy would do the
Hey.
dishes.
yeah. He did all the cooking and everything, so he would assume somebody else would do the cleanup.
Yeah,
Magic makes everything better.
it does, doesn't it?
She's
I just
gonna
didn't know
do
if you were
the
gonna take the time to do it now, or just go to bed and deal with it when you woke up in the morning. It wouldn't be some kind of like multi-hour endeavor. You can presty up the plates and things and have a good time that way.
So Shelly presties a plate, Lucy puts them back.
So Zar's off to bed. Is there anything else that you all want to do now that he's gone, or are you all gonna pack it in one by one and call it a night as well?
Just pack it in. Had plenty to drink tonight. Stuffed. It's time to go to bed.
Well, if Shelly wants to presty everything, and then we put all the plates so it's done, and we don't have to mess with it tomorrow, Lucy will do that with them, and then bed.
Okay, so everyone heads to bed. You get various states of good night's sleep. The dinner went decently late into the night, so if you wake up at a normal hour, you're going to be a little shortchanged on sleep, but not enough to be overly dramatic. We're not in like exhaustion level territory, except for Czar. You need to make a con save for whether you get the spins while you go to bed.
All right, and I also sent you something else too.
Oh Jesus! Did you? This is not non-detection.
Correct.
Okay, I just make it. I was like, I know you're drunk, but I don't know if you're that drunk. But
There's
okay.
no sense. There's no sensitive information in there.
No, I know, but still, just so you get a little bit of the spins while you're sleeping. It's a somewhat fitful sleep, but you're still gonna make it through the night with enough of a rest to get by for the day. I will work on a reply to that. And dear Lord, why do you people do this to me? Everyone goes to sleep. You get your night's rest. You wake up the next day. You know that the ambassador is intending to sleep the day away so she could be up tonight to watch the festival setup that you mentioned. What would you like to do with your day here? You know that that's inbound for tonight/tomorrow. You've got a few other things floating about. Your armor is, you've been doing the math, should be just about ready. at Bella's, you can finalize your real estate deal. You got your lending squared away. You just have to go to the tax office and pick up the paperwork, sign the deed, do all that in triplicate nonsense. You can go poke around some of the other embassies or anything else that you'd like to do from here.
For Czar, I guess he would go finalize the work on the stuff for the blacksmith shop. Unless you want to roleplay that, I'm fine with just assuming we did it for whatever reasons.
It's mostly a formality thing. It takes you maybe like 2 hours to get through all the paperwork, just because of the amount of stuff that you have to sign and re-sign and sign in triplicate and all that kind of fun stuff. But they turn over a copy of everything for your records and a set of keys, and they recommend a good locksmith and all that.
I guess I'm there too, because we have to probably both sign the papers. So
had to co-sign on the loan because of Czar's credit not being so hot.
Sorry with his shitty credit.
And I guess after that, probably just head to the shop and start cleaning it up and getting it ready and stuff.
Yep. We'll buy supplies, start cleaning up and fixing up the shop as best as we could for now.
Yes, and in the Valley of Inspiration area, he would probably go have like a sign made too. Just like a sign for the window that just says accepting apprenticeships.
That's not cocky at all. It's a bold, sir.
Bold move.
Somebody's got to keep the shop going if we got to leave. I'm just saying.
Yeah, no, I get you. So you go commission a sign from them. Something like that won't take them very long unless you want it to be super duper fancy.
Nah.
But they're like, we could probably knock that out by the end of the day if you stop back in before we close up. They're a little preoccupied with festival stuff, but something that simple they can knock out for you. How much of the day do you want to spend getting the shop like tidied up and in order? You want to go buy supplies and start stocking the shelves with your basic base ingredients and tools kit and all that fun stuff. Do you want to put the day to it, or do you want to just put the morning to it?
I put most of the day for it.
Yeah, I mean, we don't have any other plans for the day. We don't really have any plans at all until the festival starts, or we hear back about getting in the electric company. So,
okay. Does anyone else want to help them with that effort, or do you want to just let them go off and do that on their own?
No.
I assumed, I was mostly asking Shelly and Lucy. I figured you were going to go do whatever the hell you wanted.
Lucy had already hinted with her, oh, that's dusty. I wonder who's going to clean it. You're going to need somebody to clean it up. That she would not help with that part.
That's fair.
of course, the princess wouldn't.
Yeah.
Yeah, the one you actually haven't called a princess would not help you do that.
He called you princess last session.
Yeah.
Oh, right.
Just
doesn't care.
General niceties. I thought I'd be ask and see. So you put the bulk of your day into that effort. You see that you get everything dusted out, clean off the shelves, take stock of what's there, and go buy your toolkits and things like that. You do notice that the shop is outfitted for the lights that you've noticed in some of the other shops and things. Now that you've had your attention drawn to it, it is wired up the way the other buildings are. You'll have to get that switched on. Unless you want to go buy traditional torch and lantern light, you can do that if you want to.
Torch and lantern's working just fine for now, and I would say, since Kinley's the only one there, and Zara's pretty close with Kinley, as well with Lucy, but Lucy made him upset recently, so Kinley would get to see this first. Kinley, you would see Zar sort of like making some like mumbles and hand gestures as gusts of wind come through and blow out large portions of dust out the door.
Cool.
Oh.
Perfect timing. You have a guard walking by.
It's all right. It's all right.
Yeah,
I'll
you-
just
you
give him
just-
some pastries.
Smack a guard upside the face with a dust ball. And just what the fuck was that? All over my armor. Jesus. Be careful where you cast that shit.
Jeez.
I was not
Interesting,
expecting you to
Nathan,
do
you
that.
got there.
I learn more about these runes every day.
Very nice.
I'm assuming that's a cleric spell.
You can assume all you want. You're not there.
Yeah. So that will take you most of the day. You can make your little chit chat and things along the way, work through stuff, get everything all set up, hammer out a couple of horseshoes for practice if you want, that kind of thing. Towards the end of the day, what is everyone else getting up to? And I will jump back to you here in a second.
Yeah, that's fine.
Lucy would probably try to figure out what kind of outfit would be best suited for this festival, so she doesn't whip it all out and like go extravaganza, and it's like not that extravagant.
So you
Or
just said
the-
Lucy's going to go to the festival and whip it out?
That's what I heard.
That's what I heard.
Definitely what I heard.
Words and
French.
phrases were uttered. It's fine. We're all good.
I'm doing the best I can with the English language, okay? I'm sorry if there's
Yes.
innuendos in my speech, but
It's
there it is.
It's fine.
We're totally fine. Everything's fine. Okay, so are you talking about the festival or the ambassador's ball that she mentioned?
Was the one we were trying to get into? We're checking out. Was it the
The ball.
The ball.
the
then.
ball
Okay.
ball? Then it'd be for the ball that she'd be investigating.
I wasn't sure if you were looking to get in the festive spirit or if you were just looking at the ball. So if you go and ask around a little bit, like check in with the embassy, even if you go back to the embassy at Fantalusia to kind of ask what their typical attire would be, so you can sort of be in the spirit of your hometown sort of deal, they'll let you know it is a formal ball. Like, the attire that the ambassador showed up to your house in last night would be woefully underdressed for the occasion. It's very much a fancy affair.
So it's gonna be tux and dresses. Oh.
And then naked shell.
Well, the bow tie is gonna help along.
I'll do like the Chippendales thing
Like
with
the
the
co- just
just the cufflinks and the bow tie.
Mm-hmm.
Nice.
That'll be awesome.
That'll be that's gonna be very fancy for Shelly. That'll work just fine. Okay, so
Fine, I'll
knowing
do
that,
disguise
she's gonna be
though.
like, learning that, in her head, she's gonna be like, God damn it, I'm gonna have to wear a dress. I don't like wearing dresses. God, fine. And she's gonna check out on,
Get Lucy a suit. Fuck dresses.
Yeah, or you could go to Bella and have her make you a chain dress.
God,
Ooh.
no. You can't afford a chain dress from Bella.
I don't think she's gonna put that much more onto our parents' bill. She's gonna
Ball
not
gown of
do
protection.
My God.
that. I'm gonna have her put on the dress because that's gonna be funny. She's gonna be
The-
uncomfortable, so y'all are gonna laugh at that. But
It's up to you. It's formal wear, but it's not enforced in a specific way. It's just a
Oh.
specific level of formality. So if you
Yeah.
wanted to suit up, go tux and tails, you could get away with that.
yep.
But yeah, you have options. You have time to think it over. It's not until halfway through the festival, which would be a good. It's a week from now, essentially. Because the festival starts tomorrow and it's halfway through, so you got about a week to get your stuff sorted in whichever way you want to. On that front. But yeah, so you can go check in with them. They'll let you know and what their typical attire is if you want to dress in kind with Fantalusia, or if you want to go off and just design your own. Obviously the tailors in the Valley of Inspiration or in or in Daishin, they would both be up to the task of doing something really high-end, high quality for you. Obviously, you're gonna pay for it in kind, but they're your best bets if you want to go top end designer kind of stuff. So that's kind of where you're looking at. And you could go anywhere kind of along the different price ranges and things like that, but those are your kingdoms for your top tier custom
So you-
designer kind of gown.
So you said
Oscar
Valley of
wear red carpet
Inspiration
or
and what?
Daishin,
Daishin?
the one next to Forge Heart here.
Okay. Either or.
Yeah, or they're your like top end design house kind of places.
Oh.
At least the best they can do on the island here, considering the bubble. You can't really import anything from outside at the moment.
Okay. After learning that, she's probably gonna peruse the prices and then go check on the progress of Zara and Kinley
Okay.
and after the other ones.
Sure. Shelly and Finnegan, what are you poking your heads into aside from trouble?
Oh, I have two places I'm gonna want to go.
Sure.
What? One is I'm gonna want to stop back over at the Druic Alliance, and then after that I want to go back to the police headquarters and visit Larry.
Oh God, man.
Larry's off today. He's currently doing his other job as the cable guy.
Yeah.
It's fine. I'll
did we
visit
not?
the last guy.
I vaguely recall a conversation where you said just say a name because we're never to come back and see this guy again. So I named him Larry, and then I feel like you've kind of gone back on this agreement. You had an agreement, you went back on the agreement.
I'm not gonna visit Larry.
Mission.
I
Now we're gonna
plan
see
on
him all the
going
time.
back. I plan on going back to talk to a detective of sorts. So it doesn't really matter.
Officer of the law.
Yeah, it doesn't matter who it is.
Yeah.
It's gonna be someone.
It's the officer
Sure.
brother Barry.
Yeah. Yeah, his cousin Gary and his brother Barry.
Oh God, kill me now.
Hey, you open this door, you walk through it, is what you get. So we'll get you rolling on that in just a second. Shelly, what do you want to get done today?
Shelly would probably be up in their room, working on their spell book for a little bit, but then
You currently do not have your spell book.
I have the other one.
Oh, the other. Okay, gotcha.
Yeah,
I was
not my
like-
book of secrets,
I was
but
like-
the actual spell
book.
book that has my wizard spells
Sure,
in it.
sure.
Because I was transferring things over from one book to another. And then when Lucy mentioned going to talk to people about things, I was like, oh, that sounds like a good idea. So Shelly's going to head over to the Veril embassy. That's the word, not the ambassadory. My brain is still like right there. And they will probably ask around about things at the festival that they definitely shouldn't miss. Ask what kind of stuff Veril does, and possibly ask about Tortle fashion,
Tortle.
just in case there's something other than Chip and Dale cufflinks.
Okay.
Nice.
Chip and Turtle.
Yeah, I mean they all wear togas. That's what it
Yeah.
is.
Yeah, that wouldn't be out of fashion for them, I suppose. It'd be a way to kind of get around it. But so you stop into the Veril embassy. You almost got me to say ambassador. Into the embassy, and they're happy to see you again. You had stopped in once before, a little bit of chit chat. You don't know if you remember the info that I sent you from that. A little bit of chit chat that you had at the front desk, but they are happy to see you. They give you a good bit of information about what sort of the normal offerings from some of the different kingdoms are. Kind of their personal hits and misses and things of, the demonstration that they do in Sandalk is definitely worth seeing. It's a little tough to get a seat, but it's very cool. Like that, they give you those kinds of bits and tips and things. Um, you know, the unfortunately the demonstrations that Veril typically does have had to have been scaled back this year. The performance team hadn't gotten into the island before the bubble went up, so they've had to kind of scale theirs back a bit. They just didn't send for them early enough. They didn't expect to have to. So they were due to arrive a couple days ago, so they missed the window to get in before the bubble. So Varrock is a little underrepresented, unfortunately, this festival, but they're going to do the best they can with the people that they've got, and try to put on a good festival for everyone. The as far as attire goes, they check in with the ambassador sort of for the formality of the event and kind of what they're planning to wear to the affair and that kind of a thing, and they let you know that what you have in mind would be fine under the circumstances. Occasionally, when they invite a turtle to the affair, they'll opt for clothing to sort of kind of go with the flow. But no one would begrudge you your Chippendale suggestion. Given your shell decorations and things of that sort, if you sort of give them a good buff up and things, you'd be fine.
All right. And they would offer if there's anything that they can do to help with your performance or anything. I can make people float for a little bit, but I don't know what kind of performances you guys are putting on. But yeah, I'm here and I like to be helpful. So just so you know, if you need anything, you know where I'm at.
How comfortable are you at the turtle drums?
Oh man. I want to say totally, but I haven't been home in a
Totally,
while,
dude.
so
Totally.
So you would know from back home that it's a performance art where turtles use their shells as the drums. So it's a bit like those Japanese large diameter drums where they're doing the
Yeah.
on the side kind of a
taiko
deal.
drums.
Yes, it was blanking on the term. But it's turtles using their shells and they kind of like pull in a little bit to give them a bit of a hollow, and they sort of move themselves in and out to change the pitch, and there's on the back of the shell. It's very cool. It takes a lot of practice to get good at the sound adjustment part of it, but their team that they were going to have come in and do it is stuck outside the bubble. So they're short a few drummers.
You know, let me take a day to brush up, and I'll let you know.
That would be, I mean, don't put yourself out. We're going to do the make do with the best we. It would just, if you could, that would be fantastic.
I'll see what I can do. I'm gonna go home and practice whatever that is.
Yeah, that'll be fun.
Finnegan, does this sound right?
How am I supposed to know?
Yeah, so that's what you generally kind of get out of them on that front. You do feel like you have a good checklist of, booths that are good to hit in terms of their food selection is typically really good, and which ones are a little bad. They warned you that Pactoro and Quattrolot, they do pretty good cultural demonstrations. There's a jousting tournament in Pactoro and things of that sort, but their food booths, like, they just don't got it. Everybody kind of like politely shuffles past them every year, and they just don't take the hint. They're like, "Oh, we really love it. This food's fantastic." But aside from that, you get your good kind of hits and misses, things like that.
Is it like the beans and eggs of British food or something?
Yeah, it's sort of in that vibe. of just food where you're like, I know you think this is cuisine, but this is not cuisine. So yeah, so that's what you've got there. You jump back to Finnegan. You stopped into the Druidic Alliance. What did you want to do to them or with them? Mostly to them, I would imagine.
What? You just assume Finnegan's like a walking like plague, which
I mean, track record.
fair. I would like to approach the secretary and request schedule a meeting sometime this week. Anytime they're available. I know the festival's coming up, but I would like to have a sit down with the ambassador. Kind of convenience for him, so I'm not in. It's not a rush. Just want to have a chit chat with him.
Okay. So, kind of scrolls through the calendar for the week, and it's like, well, schedule is very busy. We've got a lot going on. The ambassador's got a few public appearances and things scheduled. With everything that's gone on and the earthquakes and things, they're especially eager to kind of glad hand a bit. But it looks like I could get you in for mid-afternoon the day after tomorrow. Do you think it's going to be a long meeting, or can I just squeeze you in for like a 30-minute block?
I only need like 10, 15 minutes. I'm not gonna take. Yeah, it's just quick.
Fantastic. Yeah, if you come back, just like right after lunch, day after tomorrow, they'll be able to squeeze you in for something like that.
Fantastic. I appreciate all the help you do. I hope you are ready for a fantastic festival this year.
Yes. We're all hopeful that it'll be a little less crowded this year, which is a bit of a double-edged sword for us, I would imagine. We're hoping for a good turnout.
But does it give just more space for you guys to do your shape changing?
A bit, yeah. But it's nice to have the place be a little extra crowded, rub elbows with people from all over. But people are traveling in. We're expecting a good turnout, at least from residents of the island. So should be good times.
Well, I appreciate your time. You're doing a great job.
So
and then he's literally just turns out and just starts walking with us.
It'll take you some time to hop on the elevators, head down, head back into Umlaut proper to the police station and check in with them and get some time with the detective. So Czar and Kinley, it's a bit of a whistle while you work kind of a day. What are you getting up to aside from your cleaning? Are you talking about plans? Are you trying to talk him out of doing his lunacy of joining the insurrectionists? Just kidding? Or like, what are you getting up to?
There's no talking him out of that. So it's like, now we're just talking about the shop and about I need to go pick up some new clothes for the ball and
the ball.
Yeah, I may need your help in that aspect, Kinley. I've not exactly been to anything like that before.
Not a problem.
And I won't be expected to dance, will I?
Probably.
Maybe you could teach me how?
I can try. I mean, I'm only an okay dancer, so.
Well, I'm a not dancer at all, so an okay dance is definitely a step up.
Yeah, better than nothing.
Do you need any special equipment for your bullets or anything?
No, I just make casings and I have to make the powder myself. It's a very delicate combination process.
You're not gonna blow up the shop, are you?
No. I've got that down. It should not happen.
Again.
Look, we only blew up part of her shop working on the gunpowder.
Yeah,
it's just the one corner.
Fortunately, Niwin and Terra kind of ate most of the blunt damage, blunt force trauma of the experimenting with the black powder when you were working that out with him.
Right now, it's just a matter of seeing what comes out of the research for the special bullets.
Right. Well, I think we've done all we can really do here for today. If we need to stop by and pick up that sign, and since that's in the Valley of Inspiration area, I suppose we could look at clothes while we're there.
Yeah, of course.
All right. Well, let's lock up. And Zar would have made Kinley a set of keys of her own. Kind of, firing the forge up for the first time, hammering out a couple keys, so that she can come and go as she pleases too if he's not here.
Okay. And partway through your cleanup effort and things like that, Lucy would make her way down to you guys and just kind of pop in and be like, "Oh, hey, how's it going?" Let you know what she found out in terms of the dress code and stuff like that, I assume, and sort of loop you in on all that.
All right.
Also,
Zar,
where there would be the best areas to that's not overly expensive but makes really great stuff. At
I plan on renting my clothing, not buying it. I really don't see a need to own a ridiculous set of clothing like that.
I don't think they rent. It's usually
they do
tailor-made.
not.
Well, I'm sure they will make an exception.
You can't.
I highly,
It's
I
not
highly doubt it,
why.
sir.
She's gonna stop herself. It's not wise to always force the badge on others.
I
You
didn't
know, we
say-
might
I didn't-
have
I didn't
other.
say-
No. Let me finish. We might have other needs for these clothes. Because the
Are
silent.
Are you paying for them, Miss Moneybags?
She's gonna consider it. Just. Do you know how to dance, Star?
I have that covered, thank you.
Good. I will pay for them. If you manage to be able how to properly dance.
Proper.
Yeah.
If you're
Lucy
using her
doesn't know
body-
how to dance. Lucy doesn't know how to dance either.
She does.
She's saying basically, if she's putting her money in you, you have to represent her money properly.
Yeah.
She doesn't want some shit lord using her money to just.
Okay, don't word it
Piggyback?
like that. First off, that's rude. She's just teasing him like, alright, I'll pay it, but like, you gotta learn how to dance.
You gotta bring your level best.
Yeah.
Best behavior to the ball.
Best
As
behavior.
always, Lucy, I'm a step ahead of you.
Of course.
So Finnegan, you've come down to go to the police station. Shelly, aside from stopping into the embassy for Vero, was there anything else that you were looking to do with today? Or are you good for now? Okay. So you stop in at the front desk and check in again. And what are you looking for this time?
Missing persons.
Anyone in particular, or you
I
just
know what
want
the-
a
I know-
list, or
I know what they look like.
What?
I don't know why. So
Help your DM out so they know what you're looking for.
yeah,
Yeah, dude.
I know what they look like. Great, I don't. So what does that do for us?
They look exactly like cultists.
They don't have all the same face.
They don't have to have the same face. They just have to be wearing the near identical clothing.
So you're looking for missing people in cultist garb.
Yeah. And I'm gonna give them fake names.
What the hell?
Finnegan is so bad at this.
Is really
So bad. So
go
bad.
ahead and make a persuasion check at disadvantage.
There we go. Damn it.
Wow.
The rolls I don't need to make at all.
Yeah.
Whatsoever.
So you check into the front desk, tell them you were investigating missing persons. They direct you to the missing persons department. You sit down with an officer, like, okay, who you looking for? Like, well, don't really got a name. Like, okay, what's the description? Robes. Dark, plain,
I have this necklace.
and they just look at you like, eye color, hair color, approximate height, anything? You got anything at all to give me?
They're very shady individuals.
And you want to find these people.
I definitely want to find them.
Are you sure they're missing and they're not just avoiding you?
No. We're gonna go with yes on both. They're missing, and they might not want me to find them.
So, out of sort of difference, sorry, are you flashing your badge in this situation, or is it put away?
It would not be flashed at this point. It's just standard talk based on circumstances.
Okay. So then, not out of deference to your rank as a keeper. They'll give you sort of a
Sure.
let me go take a look, and they walk away for a little while.
And they never come back.
Now he walks away for a while, goes, "That's a coffee, a donut." Comes
Yeah.
back, found
Exactly.
see powdered sugar all over his face. Sorry, I didn't find anything.
That is exactly what happens.
So I was expecting.
They go away for a little while, and you're sure that they're diligently flipping through the last 30 days of missing person reports, but they come back with a fresh cup of coffee and a donut on a plate, and you're just like, okay. They were nice enough to go look, but you didn't really give them a lot to work with. Which I get the shade there of me not giving you much to work with, so you're not giving me much to work with, but I don't appreciate it very much.
All the shades.
Hey, we play the same game, all right? You make the
Aw.
rules. You make the rules. I just follow along with the rules.
Yeah. So you've been politely humored, and you can tell that that's about as far as you're getting, but without any sort of, unless you're looking to really flex on them.
Oh no, Finnegan is literally working with threads, not even
Mhm.
like string to pull on, like little tiny threads. So he's like, let's roll some dice here, see if I can land some snake eyes or some shit.
Yeah. I was half expecting you to ask for a list of people convicted of stealing the damn sign out of the road.
No, I missed out on an opportunity.
I honestly, when you said you were going to a police station, that is absolutely what I expected. I want a list of everyone who's been convicted of stealing that sign in the last 6 months, and you were going to go hunt them down to ask them what they saw.
What is,
Jesus.
when you went down the direction towards the side, what did you find?
Yeah. Like, Finnegan does not return to the townhouse. He has left the city off on his own little side adventure, hunting down everyone on this list, going off only their name and last known location.
Would you play? This seems like a way better storyline. But I just want to be clear. You also have Finnegan not with the party. I'm just saying.
You're the one that decides that, though.
Yeah, that was like I didn't.
That
make
was
you go.
all you, man. Again.
That was all you.
Yeah.
That was all
Yep.
you again.
What? No.
Yeah. Mhm.
No.
Could have gone and helped dust it out the shop. It could have had it done in half the time.
I make
But-
everything frozen solid with ice.
Sure.
Yeah, but
Why
then
not?
it's easier to pick up.
Yeah. You just put a nice little frayer, a
Mm.
layer of frost. It's a frayer. It's a layer of frost over the dust, and just make it so they can just sort of like scoop it up. But as it sort of gets into the back end of the day, the claim check that you've been holding on to from Bella just sort of starts to like vibrate a little bit. Just got, like,
He's got vibrating claim
Does it have
check.
lights go around it too? Zzz.
That's great.
this is how
Finnegan, party of three.
This is how the big boys play. You know, you run a high-end elite shop and you give out claim checks. They magically vibrate when your stuff's ready. This is how you know when to come home.
Makes perfect sense.
So you have the opportunity to go and pick up your stuff now that it's vibrating, or you can pick it up tomorrow, pick it up in a week. It'll just be ready for you when you're ready for it. Though impertinence is not appreciated at Bella's shop.
It's all about Bella. All right. Well, obviously Finnegan's gonna be super excited to get his armor, so he's literally just gonna be like sprinting from the police station. So
He's taking off so fast.
Just takes a
I
sprint.
think he thought he committed a crime.
they can't catch me, Kappa.
So you get to Bella's shop. Zar, are you heading in that direction too, or are you gonna let it ride?
I think we were heading in the direction of the Valley of Inspiration.
Yeah, we're going for the
So-
dress shop and
Yeah,
sushi.
after you packed up for the day and locked up and did your keys thing, you were gonna head for the elevator to head back up. So it vibrated,
Yes.
but you can be like, we'll come pick it up tomorrow, or you can turn around
Well,
and
that
go
would-
back.
That would be Kinley. Zar didn't buy anything.
Yeah, it'd just be me.
Oh, right, yeah, no, sorry.
Yeah.
We're going for the armor.
Yep. I will pick mine up after I get my dress.
Okay. So in that case, Finnegan, you get to the shop. It's just you. You go in. They're expecting you, and your armor is ready to go. It is white, sort of. What do you call it? It's like it's not painted white. It's like electroplated with a white coating. So it should be pretty heavy duty, pretty durable. It's gonna hold up to some wear and tear. It's not just gonna scratch off. It's good. You can tell straight away it's high quality stuff. Bring you in, sit you down, help you put it on, get you fitted, make sure everything, show you where all the straps are and all that kind of fun stuff. And it's extremely high quality work. You can tell straight away, like if you had asked for the individual snowflakes on every scale, it would have been immaculate from just the quality of the piece without it. And so they get you all situated in that. You now have non-magical white dragon scale. There you go. Be sure to let Kinley know that hers is ready as well, and the alchemist is making progress, but we've got a batch of the slow process stuff ready for her as well when she's ready to swing by.
Will do. I appreciate the great work you do. Tell Dugan I said hello.
And as you're on, like, just heading for the door on the way out, and do congratulate Zar on his new purchase.
Oh.
Oh, you mean? Oh, business business?
Uh-oh.
Throw in the
Travels
shade
fast.
already.
Yeah,
Yikes.
he's opening up. I mean, I wouldn't say it's rivals. But, I mean, look at this work. Zar would wish he could make this stuff, but boy, yeah, he's him and Kenley are decided to have a place that they can just make their own stuff in without bothering your forge. You know, feel like we've already been a nuisance to you plenty.
And you just kind of get that, like, what? No.
Are you saying I should come back tomorrow?
Please don't.
Okay. Point proven. So, I mean, it's yes. I don't think he plans on rivaling you in company. I just know he wants a place to make some stuff for himself, and Kinley is extremely passionate about her firearms. And that's saying it in an understatement way, trust me.
Mhm.
But yeah, you look like you're doing great anyways. Like look at all these things. Just look at it.
Just look at it. Just look at it.
Would you just look at it?
There we go.
Just look at it.
But no, Bella, your phenomenal work will definitely stay unblemished. When someone wants good quality work, they will always think of you. So, nothing that I can guarantee, nothing that you need to worry about.
Do I look worried? And you can very much not.
Is that sarcasm? I'm not really good with that.
Yes.
Oh. Okay. I'm gonna go with the answer no. No, you're not.
Just get out.
Okay. Do you want to hear a joke before I go?
Oh,
I
God.
will take the armor back. So help me.
Ooh. Oh. Well, you have a great day then. Man. Don't like good jokes. God.
It's just like I'm got the festival coming up tomorrow. I'm supposed to be relaxing. This is supposed to be my day off. I'm not even supposed to be here today.
And Kenley's making you wait.
Not
a
even
little
supposed
more.
to be here today.
Yes, thank you for that. Was hoping somebody would catch that.
Not me.
So the Czar and Kinley, and Lucy, you've all headed back up to the surface ahead of what Finnegan's doing with Bella, picking up the armor and stuff like that. You're gonna go formal attire shopping, unless you have very specific requests that you need to talk through. I'm happy to you go in, you shop, you talk through what you're looking. I mean, you're gonna press the rental issue, or
No, Lucy's paying, so I am going to get the best that I can get
okay,
out of every coin she's willing to spend.
okay,
I'm gonna be fancy as fuck.
sounds good. So yeah, so unless you have like a very specific request that you want to roleplay through, you go into a design house and Lucy gives them a budget to work within, and they take all the measurements and size you up, and they know the events coming up and the kind of clientele that are going to be there. And
I want cufflinks for my tux that are little miniature keeper badges.
We'll see
it's, a
about
nice,
that.
it's a nice touch.
Yes.
The only thing I will say is whenever the person goes to measure Lucy's shoulder, she gets a bit uncomfortable. But that's just gonna slide that out there.
I would just
Sure.
whoever's making my dress, I would be like, just make me look good.
You could just ask for them to put slits in your jacket, Lucy. Just put them on display.
For 1
Just-
minute.
Yeah, it only lasts
Yeah.
1 minute.
You don't want to ruin the jacket when you make it for 1 minute, though.
Yeah.
They're
Prepare.
ethereal
You gotta-
wings.
You gotta prepare.
And I'm used to this, so I just go get measured and all the fun stuff.
Mm-hmm.
Well, Lucy's used to this, but she's still uncomfy because, well, y'all don't know, but yeah.
Zara dresses to the left, by the way.
Kinley,
Dresses to the left.
Kinley's not
What?
Kinley's not like a. She's not embarrassed, so it's like she doesn't care.
Ooh. Finnegan has one more place he wants to go on the way before he goes home. I want to set an appointment up with the ambassador at Marcelheim again, but actual appointment for about 10.
For like another 10-15 minute pop in kind of thing.
Yeah. In the future, whenever she's free before the festival starts. Yeah.
Well, she's off today, and the festival starts tomorrow.
Right. Yeah. It's a way of letting them know, hey, I'd like to talk to her whenever you
Swear to God, if you bother the ambassador on her day off.
It's not important to bother on her day off, but, reach out to her for me after tomorrow. Or today. After today.
After today. No. Love the opportunity to break in a show too. Anyway,
And I'll give the clothing shop the address to drop off the where to send the clothing stuff
Yes.
to.
Okay. Would you like to request assistance? They can send people to help dress you. Sort of like think of it like an Oscars night kind of thing. They send somebody over with the dress to help you get in it, kind of a thing.
Absolutely.
Yes, they are.
Oh
they are quite welcome to send a.
If Lucy's bad, definitely.
Yeah. Okay, so you make those arrangements. They're willing to do it for you. They're a little short-handed. Usually they bring in extra help to facilitate the ball because the event's usually very well attended. But again, bubble, it's fucking with everything.
Yep.
But they will do their best to assist you as they would if they were at full capacity. And Finnegan, you stop by. They let you know that the ambassador is off today, and she typically doesn't come in until late afternoon, the first day of the festival. And glad handing things that
Just say that whenever you see her next, her day she comes in, doesn't matter. Just let her know that Finnegan needs to chat with her just for 10-15 minutes. It'll be fine. She knows who I am. I've met her at least once out of 2 times because the other one wasn't her. We know that whole ordeal. It's fine.
All right.
Wait.
Well,
Did you just let the secretary know that?
Oh yeah.
The
At the front desk.
At the front desk.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Oh my God.
It's not like I'm letting the Druid Alliance know. It's fine.
Honest to God, you are the worst secret keepers I have ever seen be in any form of formal government role. Like, if you had seen video of a UFO, you would have posted it on YouTube by now. Like, you guys are the worst. Dear Lord.
Well, some of us are the worst. Other times, just bad situations.
Yeah.
Would you like to mention the mountain while you're here?
Oh.
If you were going to go hiking,
Yeah.
I recommend.
There's a great fighter you need to see in the Coliseum.
At least the mountain warning was trying to save people.
I know. I'm just teasing. So that kind of closes out the day. The secretary lets you know, once I see her, I'll pass along that you would like some of her time when she can spare it for you. Are you planning to check back in at a specific time, or should she check in at your townhouse, or how would you like? I mean,
I will most definitely probably be in my townhouse for most of the day tomorrow. So if she wants to just hop in over there before she does her festivities, that'd be great. If not, I'll check in probably tomorrow, the day after tomorrow morning, and see if she has a preferred time, and we'll go from there.
okay. So the day is coming to a close. Shelly, is there anything else you wanted to accomplish on this particular calendar day, or are you feeling good? No?
You don't want
Okay.
more chalk?
No, I'm good.
So the day comes to a close. Are you taking a normal night? Are you going to go watch them set up the festival like the ambassador mentioned she plans to do, or
I'm going to get my stuff from Bella. So
At night?
no, before the whole night thing. So obviously I'm gonna go get my armor and the ammo and stuff.
well, the page came late in the day,
Okay.
so opting to go up and deal with the ball attire would put you past the end of the
Okay. Okay. So
workday.
it's that
You'd have to
late.
come back for it.
Okay.
Yeah,
All right. I'll have to get it tomorrow then.
that's why I was asking
Alright.
if you wanted to deal with that then, or if you wanted to wait.
Yeah.
So yeah, like I said, do you want to call it a normal night and go to bed, or do you want to stay up and watch them set up for the festival like the ambassador's planning to do, or mention planning to do, or how do you want to roll that out?
I'll probably watch some of the festivities and the setup and see what's going on. I'll see what this big deal is. And
Yeah, Czar will don his cloak, hood up, and lurk around the setup of the festivity areas and maybe try and run into anybody shady.
Maybe.
it is his.
Finnegan's not, but definitely drop the news to Czar that Bella knows about your opening of your shop. Good luck. And then like go up to the stairs and go sleep.
Czar would let Finnegan know you were there when I told her I was going to get a place. So, of course
Yeah.
she knows.
No, she knows now that you own a place. Like,
Oh, well, then she knows I follow through with things that I say I'm going to do. That's wonderful. Have a good night, Finnegan.
you too. Don't stay up too late. I don't want you being tired and grumpy in the morning.
And I obviously,
Lol.
being a historian, I'm gonna check out the events, see what's going on, write things down, take notes, all that usual stuff that she would do.
You gotta be careful. Your father might come along and get rid of it.
Grandfather.
My father wouldn't.
Your grandfather might.
Okay, so I will work that out for you. It's
Good.
not going to be cheap.
I know.
But I'll
But-
give you an exact total on that.
An
I'll
evil
work
person
it out
would.
during the break.
If you need a loan, I'll help you out.
I think I'll be fine. Hopefully.
So kind of everything dies down. All the shops have closed down. Most of the restaurants have seated their last tables. Even the bars and taverns have kind of last called because they themselves want to get spruced up for the festival as well. So it's a bit of an early night for the city as a whole. And you quickly see there's a bit of a lull as everything dies down and the streets sort of empty out, and then there's an influx of people moving towards Lakeside as they roll out. Some of them are like prefabricated booths, and other ones they're sort of erecting on the fly, and spells are getting fired. A lot of cantrips are getting fired off left and right, mendings and things to sort of reconnect boards and signs, and there's strings of lights going up and banners and all. Like, it's a lot and to get done in one night, and everyone's moving in sync, everyone's on firing on this. This is something that they've done a few times now. They have a rhythm to it, and you like I said, bars and taverns are doing their own little spruce ups inside. You can see people are hanging banners on the walls, and like everybody's getting into the spirit of it, and it's just amazing to watch so much get done in a single night. Which, by the way, it is actually extremely impressive to watch them do that. It's very cool.
Very
But
cool.
yeah, it's like a symphony of people being conducted as everyone sort of moves around and everything slides into place and signs go up and banners and lights and everything unfolds. Temporary stages go up and things, and
Makes you wish the party was that coordinated.
so it takes them the bulk of the night. I don't know how much of it you want to stay up for. If you do stay up for the whole thing, you'll have a point of exhaustion in the morning unless you take the day to sleep. But it's pretty dang cool to see them get it done. And as you sort of mosey about watching them do it, trying hard to stay out of their way, you do see the ambassador kind of sitting on a doorstep with a bag of popcorn, basically. She's sort of just spectating, watching them do it, and you can see.
I will join her.
As will I.
Okay. She offers you a little bit of her snack, and isn't it amazing? Just look at him go, and you can see there's a bit of like a bit of sparkle in her eye. Like she's really impressed. She loves watching them do this, and a bit of what's it called, like a childlike wonder kind of thing in her eyes watching them do it. Like it's so cool. I can't believe that they get this all done. Can you believe this? And she's still handing popcorn out to you guys. And
If only anything was as efficient.
I know it's it's something special.
It is indeed.
So Finnegan went to sleep. Lucy, did you go to sleep or did you join in on this?
She would have watched for a little bit, but then went to sleep. So yeah.
Shelly?
Shelly would have been practicing the turtle drumming
Ah, yes.
until people sleeping were like, "Shut the hell up," because I'm trying to sleep.
I applaud you
Shut
for your
up.
effort.
I do.
I applaud you.
And they'd be trying to like figure out how to enhance it with like Presty or something like that, just to give it a little extra something.
Sure. Yeah, you can work that in. Go ahead and make a performance check at advantage because you're giving it the due diligence, giving it your level best, and then make an Arcana check for it too, just to kind of work in the magical stuff. Holy moly!
What
So,
the hell?
I am low key
The best.
genius.
Yeah, like,
You just made a new song, and it's a hit song that's gonna take over the summer.
Shelly has been holding out on you guys. They've secretly been a turtle drumming prodigy. No
I used
one,
to
really
be
a
on
bit
the
of-
drumming
she's-
team in high school.
She's really
Yeah.
been a level 20 bard her whole life.
yeah, just never saw it coming. But it comes pretty naturally to you. Like you obviously don't have formal training, so you're not sure if you can do the routine that they have planned, but you're confident that you can at least like BS your way through a couple of songs, kind of a thing. Like you're like, I think I got the hang of this. This doesn't seem so bad. I could probably make this happen. If you wanted to give it a shot, you've got a good shot of making that happen. Like that was real solid practice. So that's where you got on that front. That was actually really good. That was amazing.
Wow.
How is this the time that you all roll really well? What is
Because it's not important.
Yeah.
when that dragon
Life is
attacks,
on the
you guys are
line.
gonna be
Oh.
No. The way you word it is this: not important, unintelligent, not a difficult interaction. Dragon appears. You have
At
to
all.
downplay
It's
it.
not a vital
No,
role, so of
no,
course
see,
it's gonna go well.
Yeah.
If that dragon appears, I am going to wield my sword of auditing.
Sword of census, go!
Yeah. So you spend a good chunk of your evening on this stoop, sort of enjoying the setup alongside the ambassador. Finnegan, if you had tagged along, you would have had your chance to chat with her.
This is like literally her holiday. She's
Yeah.
like, this is what I would not dare to ruin it.
Well, I am sure she would appreciate that if she knew that. Because it really is. She's loving it, eating it up. You spend some time there with her. You want to ride that out, or do you want to just, let her be? Oh, we won't bother you anymore, that kind of.
Czar would eventually excuse himself to go do his shady shit. So
Okay.
I'd keep her. I'd keep her company, just as since just as good company, you know.
Mm-hmm.
What if she told you you aren't?
Oh,
Mm,
that'd be
mm,
harsh.
yeah.
Okay, so Zara's
Question
gonna
at
go
That
first.
I'd say
do
was
some
all
shady
Finnegan's
shit.
fault.
Everything's Finnegan's fault.
Just because you say it's Finnegan's fault doesn't mean it actually is my fault, you losers.
Take that back.
Yeah, but they can keep trying.
They definitely
Um,
can.
So Zar, you wander off in search of shady shit. Are you going to stay on Upper Umlot, or are you going to go down to Umlot proper in search of your shady stuff?
I would first, kind of keep an eye around up here. If it doesn't look like, anybody's bothering with the people that are kind of like setting up all the stuff, he would head down to Lower Umlot.
Okay. So you do kind of a casual loop around the lake kind of a thing, trying to be nonchalant and stay out of everybody's way, but sort of make your presence known. You see a few other people scattered about that are watching, like the ambassador was. It's not something that a lot of people do because most people look forward to the first day of actual festival.
Mm-hmm.
But there's at least a few people scattered about lakeside, sort of watching this all unfold and enjoying that sort of private spectacle of watching them do all this work. Um, but nobody shady sort of catches your eye along the way. So you take the elevator down, which conveniently does run at all hours, and spend some time in Umlot proper, looking for kind of some of the less affluent districts, parts that are a little more run down. Some of the rock work might be a little crumbly, things of that sort of draw
Mhm.
you in that direction, into the right rings and into the right sides of town and all that kind of fun stuff. Um, you do eventually find a part of town that looks a little less reputable than some of the others. It's not like crime alley, but it's at least a little bit less prestigious than the area that you bought into or the area that Bella's shop is in. And are you just looking to make contact with somebody, or are you actually looking to
Bug
do
somebody.
something?
I mean, if opportunity presents itself, either, perhaps.
Either, perhaps. Okay.
He doesn't have much money left, so.
Yeah. Looking forward to that. Anyway, so you spend some time down here. It takes a while. Um, the festival, like even the scummy parts of town, are looking forward to the festival, if only because it's a bunch of new people in town to pickpocket.
Mhm.
So even they're getting their good nights or bad nights, criminal sleep. Um,
Yeah, they're.
evil people need their beauty sleep. Um, but you do eventually kind of stumble across someone who's still out and about on the streets well after the taverns and inns have shut down for the night. Um, they're not super shady looking, but they are at least in the right part of town for what you're hoping to make contact with.
All right, I'll stalk them for a bit, see what they're up to.
Okay. Stealth check at advantage.
Alrighty. $18.
Okay. So you kind of skulk behind them with your cloak up and trying to be inconspicuous and things like that. You eventually kind of follow up behind. They make some turns down some sort of tunnel alleys. Like,
Mhm.
since everything's cut into the rock, alleyways aren't traditional alleyways. They're sort of these like back tunnels structures. It forms a little network.
Yeah.
Um, and you eventually find yourself walking into a dead end with the person you were following facing in your direction. And you get a, can I help you with something?
Maybe. Lower his hood.
Well,
I think the question you should be asking yourself is, can I help you?
I'm not sure how. I mean, you skulked about behind me when we were the only two people in the district. I don't
Well,
necessarily rely on your stealthiness.
if I didn't want you to see me, you wouldn't have saw me.
So, what, you want to apply to the local thieves guild? Do you think you're hot stuff, fresh in town? What is this?
Just looking for some unofficial means of obtaining information.
Make a persuasion check.
All right. The fact that he immediately said you want to apply to the local thieves guild is like a red flag for him. Like, oh well, he's being really upfront about with this stranger that he's just talked to for 30 seconds, kind of thing.
Mm-hmm.
So that's kind of a red flag for him. 21.
Okay. He just kind of looks at you a little bit, and yeah, seriously, you guys are rolling really good today.
I know.
Today's your day. Everyone.
Why couldn't a pillar be under attack today? We would have that shit on lockdown.
Well, it would be, but you rolled well today, so it's not under attack today. It might be under attack tomorrow if you roll poorly.
That's true. That's true.
No. There is a timeline. Anyway.
Yeah.
So he's just kind of eyeing you up a little bit. Do I have Stony Express written across my forehead? You think this is information comes free around here? What?
No. But he sort of motions over himself. Do I look like the person that can't afford to pay for what they want?
I don't know. Do you? How well attired did you go out tonight?
I'm wearing, my decent clothing. I'm not dressed up like I was for the ambassador.
Mm-hmm.
I've got my cloak. My very well crafted sword is visible. I mean, I don't look like a pauper or anything.
Okay, just checking. So he kind of eyes you over a little bit. I mean, this is your background feature. So the idea is that you can find these spies and contacts and things. So he gives you a hard time about it for a bit. Just kind of, you can tell that he's a little distrustful just because of the way you went about it. You didn't go through the normal sort of like thieves' canty channels that he would expect new people in town to approach him through, that kind of a thing. It was a bit odd to sort of skulk him in the middle of the night. If he was in the middle of casing a house or something like that, he would have been pissed, kind of a thing. But eventually you kind of work through and get, like, things are tough all over right now. We got this with the dome up. A lot of contacts have been lost. A lot of shipments are stuck outside. A lot of shipments are stuck inside. You know how this goes. So we're all a bit tense right now.
Understand. I've seen it myself, but you will come to learn as my other contacts have that, providing the information I'm looking for is very lucrative, and I'll palm over like 5 gold to him.
Mm. So you're too broke to buy a tux, but you can 4 or 5. Anyway, I'm thinking. So
Priorities.
yeah, priority spending.
Priorities.
His ear kind of perks up when you mention other contacts. You have other contacts? What other contacts? Who are you in touch with?
Well, I think if I was going to give you that information, you would be paying me, right?
Well, it's good to make sure we're all on the same page.
I have contacts in the Druidic Alliance in Victoria and Soga.
It's gonna press you a little bit more to see if you'll cough up a description or a name for anyone.
Nope.
Like just to compare notes.
No, won't be willing to part with that information. Sorry.
Okay. Is a little begrudging about it, but
You know as well as I do, if I start giving you names, then you'll know that, the next person that I run to in the town up, if they want names, I could give them yours, and you wouldn't want that, would you?
perhaps not. But you wouldn't want conflicting rumors either, would you? It would be
Well,
helpful for us to make sure we're all talking to the right people.
well, yes, but if we get conflicting rumors, that would either mean you're lying or they're lying. But if the rumors come back the same, that would more so verify the information.
Eh, faulty sources doesn't necessarily mean a lie. You see is a bit like I would surely not do such a thing to you.
I would hope not, because then, the bounty of wealth that could be coming your way would dry up rather quickly.
Um, but yeah, so he nudges you a bit back and forth. Are you looking for specific information from him while you're here? Like, is he supposed to be looking for someone specific, or trying to get you a back door into somewhere, or anything like that, or is it just general info gathering?
General info gathering, and of course, like the other contacts, anything on groups that may not be entirely happy with the Empire and are looking to act on that type thing. And I would kind of make it like, I'm those are my type of people kind of thing. And of course, tell him I'm interested in maybe picking up a new, not so smiled upon religion that I've heard has been creeping up on the island.
Okay.
That seems to benefit the people that like to do their work in the shadows.
Okay. So you drop that on him along with the 5 gold, and he excuses himself, and you now have something of a contact. It
All right.
feels a little sketchy, feels a little iffy, but you do at least have a contact, and you know the right part of town to come back to try to put him up against a wall if you need to. And you head out from there. Is there anything else you're gonna try
Nope.
to? Okay, so you head back up and either spend the rest of the night watching the setup or call it a late night
Late
bedtime.
night.
And everything else resolves out. If you stayed up for the night to watch them push it up, you'll have a level of exhaustion in the morning. Otherwise, everyone else wakes up feeling well rested and ready for the festival to kick off. which it does in earnest. Like first thing in the morning, there's you can hear live music, and there's some hustle and bustle in the streets, and like everybody's raring to go for this festival.
I'll sleep in a
Yeah.
couple of hours because I didn't stay up all night long watching. So I'll sleep in just so that I'm not completely exhausted.
I'll sleep in long enough to not be totally exhausted.
Okay, so you'll lose a chunk of your morning, but everyone else is up bright and early, ready for the day, and the ambassador finished up, and then she went to bed. She's planning to sleep well into the afternoon too, as per her sort of tradition. And we'll go ahead and take our 10-minute break here, and then we'll resume with the first day of the festival.
All right, break time, everybody. We shall be back. Grab yourself drinks, do whatever you got to do. We shall return about 10 minutes.
Yeah.
Yeah. Spooky flash.
Thunderstorm in your room again, Julia.
We are back,
It's us.
everybody. Welcome. Hope you all enjoyed your break.
Yeah, yeah.
Yeah. Had
Um,
sushi.
Which, yeah, I did not get you that price tag.
Nope. You did
but-
not.
So I thought that's the first thing I would do after waking up would be heading downstairs and picking up my stuff from Bella before things really get rolling.
I'll go with you. I want to see Bella so she can congratulate me personally on my job.
Congratulate you. She
Okay,
punches you in
so
the face.
you slept away a good chunk of the morning to make sure that you weren't overly
Yeah.
exhausted for the day. So roughly lunchtime-ish, you head down to go meet with Bella. First thing in the morning for everyone else, Finnegan, you were gonna go. Well, no, that's not until tomorrow, technically.
After lunch.
After lunch. So what are you doing top of the day? You're gonna have a little breakfast. You can hear that it's already a bit of a hustle and bustle. You know that they're expecting the city to be crowded-ish, maybe not as packed as they were hoping, but within the next day or so, people are gonna start pouring into town. So what would you like to do?
So I'm gonna
Um,
assume it's Shelly. Oh,
Yeah, it's me,
Finnegan.
you, and Shelly.
They're
so
off sleeping off their evening of mucking about.
either we can make breakfast and wait for them, or we can go peruse and snack away. Because there's probably a bunch of.
I plan on eating my way through the entire island. And I totally got the hookup on where to go to do that.
So skipping breakfast.
I was told that Pacavero is awful food, don't eat.
Yeah.
So everywhere but there.
Oh.
But they've got entertainment, so I mean, trade-offs.
Alright, so that's seeing like Lucy's got somebody to go snack away with. She's gonna take Shelly and they're gonna go start up on that then.
Let's
Okay.
go find some churros.
Yeah.
So you head out you work your way out towards Lakeside. You can see that all of the work that was being done last night has not gone to waste. The city looks fantastic. It is a wall-to-wall party, as best they could muster under the circumstances. Pretty much every restaurant, bar, tavern has some level of decoration up about it. A lot of the shops even have some kind of like window decoration going on. They've done like window paint kind of things and stuff to get into the festive spirit. And you hit Lakeside, and it is packed with people. It is you're not quite shoulder to shoulder at this stage, but everybody's queued up at one booth or another, looking to sample this year's menus from the different countries or kingdoms. Slipping. So you start working your way around the lake a little bit at a time, stopping at food booths here, snack booths there, drink booths here. Shelly's sort of giving you the hit list that they picked up of the must-dos, and a few of them have decently long queues, like their reputation precedes them, and the locals know which ones to get in before all of the visitors get here and clog the place up, kind of a thing. You pass through Pactoro and Quattrolat and see that their food booths are far less well attended than the other ones. You're like, okay, the reputation definitely holds up here, and but their entertainment is hustle and is very much jam-packed, standing room only for a lot of the stuff that they're got going on. You can hear the roar of the crowd from the jousting that's going on and things of that sort. It takes a decent chunk of the morning to kind of work your way around the lake, even just sort of picking and choosing a couple of things here and there. Everything's small little sampler plates. It's meant to let you take in as much of the festival as possible, though it all costs an arm and a leg. And You just kind of, there's a lot to choose from. If there's a country in particular you want to kind of stick your head into a little bit more, you can, but otherwise you just sort of take in first like a preliminary loop around the lake to kind of see what's going on and see where the locals are sort of focusing their attention more than everyone else, and definitely get a good feel that they're it's a if this place was no like bubbleless, you feel like this place would really be jumping at this point.
Should we go throw a donut at the other one's heads to wake them up?
What? We spent a chunk of the morning, but would that be enough time for them to rest properly?
By the time you got around for that preliminary loop and back to the townhouse to check on them, they would have been starting to get up and stretch and get ready to head out for their day. That lines up about right.
They've been up all night. That sounds about as much rest as they'd be able to get in with this much festivities going around. I do believe.
Let's go get them some sausages.
Of course.
So Kinley and Czar, you've lost a good chunk of your morning, but you're now up and about. The trio roll back in from their scope of the festivities around the lake, and they're got half-eaten plates of food and some fresh stuff. Bring you back some breakfast, breakfasty items to sort of give you a chance to get caught up.
Brought me sausage on a stick. You knew exactly what I wanted.
Thank you for the food.
Of course.
Oh.
Yes, they only give out samples, not full-out meals. Like in, well,
It's okay.
I'm actually not quite sure.
I've been to a fair before. I know how they work.
It's okay. I have a ball to go to. I don't need to put on, too much.
That's a good point. So you're gonna head down to go and meet up with Bella, pick up your stuff,
Yep.
and deal with all that kind of stuff. That'll take you through roughly lunchtime into early afternoon, and we'll resolve because they'll take time to sit you down and suit you up and make sure everything fits right, adjust all the straps and things, and walk you through that and show you the ammo batch that they've made up and all that kind of stuff. Are you do you want to role play that out? Do you want to have a chat with Bella, or are you happy to
Unless she has something to say, we can just move through that quickly.
Okay. Suits you
Throw
up
any shade at me?
a little. In a mostly friendly-ish way, it feels like it. She's not being hostile about it, but it's one of those like it's a little presumptuous. Don't get big for your britches.
I take it on the chin like I should.
And shows you the ammo that they worked up. They've got a dozen of each of the standard sort of damage types.
Okay.
So like fire and cold and thunder and acid, and they got
Cool.
12 of each.
Cool.
It's the best they could get worked up for you. The alchemist is pretty confident that they can make it work on their end, really be able to get a more steady supply. This takes a lot of our enchantment bandwidth to make this happen, so we're hoping to kind of offload it to them. But this should at least get you rolling for now. Use them wisely, make them count. Kind of a vibe.
Of course.
And try not to miss. But you roll through that. Like I said, it takes you through about lunchtime into early afternoon. You have the opportunity to then join in on the festival stuff to the amount that you want to. Finnegan, you're going to go off to the Druidic Alliance to grab your little powwow with the ambassador there. You just need to pop in for 10-15 minutes. So you stop in with them, and how do you want that to roll out? I'm saying that a lot for some reason. Like I just caught myself like how many times I've said it in the last like 10 minutes. It was like, that's a lot. I need to say that less. So yeah, so you meet with the ambassador, and you've met with them once before. So right. Yeah. Trying to make sure I'm remembering who you've met with and who you haven't yet. So you've met with them before, and they're happy-ish to see you again, as they were happy to see you the first time. And yeah. So what's that conversation look like?
So afternoon, Ambassador. How was your night before the festivities kicked in?
Fine. I got a good night's sleep. We've got a busy, not quite as busy as we'd like, but a busy schedule ahead of us. All things considered.
So, you know about the issues that we have with the cultists that impacted the homeland of the Druidic Alliance.
Yes. Painfully aware, I'm afraid.
So we believe that there are cultists in each of the 4 lands, and we were thinking that the ball would be possibly dangerous to have a large grouping of highly important people together, and I was offering my services as security for you. Not sole security, but also joining your team as security to keep you protected throughout this festival, if you'd like. I'm not forcing it upon you, but I am definitely offering the services in case you'd like to play it safe or anything like that.
A keeper escort for the festival. Ooh, that's quite a bit more security than I would normally have. I'm not quite sure I deserve so much protection.
Well, we sort of are in likeness, so representing you seems like it would be a definite easy choice for me of who I'd be representing. Druids gotta stick together, no?
Well, are you in your fancy new armor?
Yes, I damn well am.
Okay, just making sure.
Like, if it was comfortable enough, I would probably sleep in it, but I know it's not, so I don't. But if it was, I would. Gee, I broke her, guys.
She's thinking.
Sorry, trying to juggle. And I'm bad at it. So
Are you a
just
bard?
gives you. No. Um. I. You look nice. I like the look. It's a little bit different from last time. It's not very subtle. I
Would you like subtle?
if I don't know. There's a bit of like I don't want to say no, especially if you think there's a threat. But if I'm going to be walking around town with security, I think subtle would be better. I don't want to give the impression that we're not trusting of our host.
That is fair. I can easily acquire new garb, fit the role of person in the back that has no purpose. That's how you're trying to play it off as.
Yes, if that's something you'd be comfortable with, I don't want to overstep, but I think that would allow you to this very kind gesture of protecting me, but without sort of um, making a bad impression on anyone.
Understandable. Just let me know what time and where to meet you at, and, on what day, and I'll happily escort you, or how we say, follow nonchalantly while indiscriminately not knowing you distance.
I'll have my secretary make you a copy of the schedule for the week. It, as much or as little as you would like. I don't want to impose upon you. And she kind of calls in for the secretary and asks for the copy and goes and tries to whip it up for you. It's a decently busy schedule. There's a lot of sort of a lot of glad handing, a lot of polite meet and greets and things of that sort. There's a few meetings scheduled with some of the other ambassadors from other kingdoms, a lot of just sort of routine check-ins that they do with each other just to kind of keep everyone on the same page about town. And even during the festival, there's still a bit of routine government work to be done. But if you want to guard the ambassador consistently, that'll take up a good bit of your time for the next few days leading up to the ball.
I accept.
Okay.
I just want to let you know that a little bit of me actually had some influence, because I definitely have always wanted to be a Secret Service agent.
Well, this is your chance. Hopefully you won't be diving in front of any bullets, but there's always a risk, right? That's why you're guarding them in the first place.
I mean, Silverheart took one to the head, so who says I can't?
Yeah. That's.
Do you have a badge now?
I do have a badge.
You have a badge now.
I
You
ain't
can
dead yet.
revivify.
Have to hope
Hopefully,
somebody knows to use it.
yeah. Hopefully, one of your other keepers are around when it happens to be able to use it.
Worst case scenario, they urgently go fetch Orma for the do.
I just, instead of assuming I'm going to the ball, if I'm protecting someone at the ball, I'm in the ball.
Yeah, that's a good point.
And I'm not required to dance. Suck it, Czar.
Czar's fine with dancing. He just has to learn how.
Yeah, gonna have to
Yeah,
spend a little time doing the two-step.
Yeah, you don't learn how to dance usually when shivering in an alleyway wondering where your next meal is.
Yeah.
It's fine. Shelly's apparently a prodigy at things that they've never done before, so maybe I can teach you how to dance.
Kinley's got me.
But I'm sure you can pick it up real easily.
Yeah. Which
I am very dexterous.
Oh my.
are you looking to volunteer for the Turtle Drum Corps? Are you gonna get in on that action, or are you
Hell
gonna...
yeah, I will.
Yeah.
If you tell Lucy, she will support you 100% and have fun watching you drum away.
I'll give you guidance if I'm around.
You'll be around protecting the ambassador.
Okay. So they do a just like a couple of shows a day kind of a thing. There's a rotating schedule of demonstrations on the stage and that sort of a thing. So it would be like 3 times a day throughout the festival that you'd be on the hook for that. But
Like
otherwise,
to use that word in Verog.
no, sorry. My apologies. I mean no disrespect. Um, but aside from that, your other time is mostly yours. It is a great opportunity to kind of soak in a bit of home, if that's something you want to do, and sort of just enjoy the atmosphere of being around people who get you. Um, as much as the party does their best.
They are a bit homesick, so.
Okay. So things are rolling out nicely on that front. Czar, Kinley, and Lucy, what are you doing with your sort of time along the way here? You picked up your stuff
Yeah.
from Bella that carried you into the afternoon. You've got a chance to kind of peruse the festival a little bit, poke your head into some displays, get some noms,
Yeah,
enjoy a few drinks.
Kinley is basically walking around, just taking notes, scribbling in her books, taking samples of food, making notes about it here and there, trying to guess the recipe.
Critique.
No, she's not critiquing. She's like more like, is it good? If it is, I'll try and guess the recipe for it. Like.
Oh no, I know,
Czar-
but you're gonna look like
Czar
a
could-
food critique.
Yeah, and try and have Czar cook it for you later. Got it. Czar. Okay. Czar will actually buy some supplies and work the first day in the forge to make his little pens and baubles that he's going to sell
Okay.
throughout
Yeah.
the next few days of the festival.
Gotcha. 100% on that. So the lower part, or like Umlaut proper, is far less crowded than you've seen it the last few days. It's relatively quiet, so you have some sort of like peace and quiet to get some work done. It takes you a little while to find the raw materials because a lot of shops have taken the first day of the festival off to go enjoy it up top, kind of a thing. But eventually, you find somebody who's a little bit of a curmudgeon and keeps their shop open on the first day of the festival, and stock up on some raw materials and set to work on that little pet project.
Yep, and I'll also put my sign in the window of the shop.
Looking for apprentices.
Yep.
So Kinley, as you go through here, the bits and pieces of this you are familiar with, given sort of the cultural status that you have in Marcelheim and the relative wealth and things like that. Some bits and pieces of this, some of the cuisine and things like that are things that you've experienced before. Maybe not these specific menu items, but at least you're familiar with the general vibe of a lot of these places from just bits and pieces of things that you've picked up over the years living in the capital, where a lot of this gets imported for the wealthy nobles and things of that sort. So you do kind of take your notes and work your way around town and stuff like that. Your eye gets caught by a few items that you've particularly enjoyed from time before. Things that you've had in the past. You're like, oh, I remember that. That was nice and tasty. And a few new things to try along the way, like you said, and take your notes and stuff, and just sort of enjoy the general atmosphere of the first day.
Yep.
Beyond that, like everybody's kind of filling up their days. Do you have anything else that you would like to get up into?
Not really. I mean, she's not really into like carnival games and stuff. So she's just gonna look around, see what else she can find. See if there's anything like antiques or anything that catches her interest. If there's anything like that. But other than that, she's just gonna walk around, take notes about the atmosphere and what the festival is and the kind of things that are here.
Okay. And then Lucy, what about you? What are you?
We peruse towards the Fantalusia sign for a little while. check things out, see what they got to offer, see the little skits they got going on, but then would probably hop from places and check out some uh of the other kingdoms to see what they are.
Okay.
They were. I don't know about that.
So, much like Kinley spending the day taking her various notes and observations and things, you sort of meander about the festival. You spend some time in Fantalusia getting a good dose of home. Um, you know, enough to last you a while. Uh,
Until I
and
have to
then
go there.
yeah, then you kind of work your way from place to place, sampling some food and some drinks and seeing what the different cultures are like. You haven't had as much exposure to them as Kinley has, so a lot of this is fresh experience for you. It's not that bit of old hat that it
Yep.
is to the same extent for Kinley. So there's a lot of things that you just haven't seen before. You do make a point of stopping in for some of Shelley's performances, just to,
Yeah.
show some support for them as they're drumming away. Um, and yeah, so you work your way around, and that's like it takes up a good chunk of the day to just sort of casually soak in bits and pieces of it. Is there any other places you want to spend more time in, or like learn more about in a specific fashion, or you just kind of soak it in a little at a time?
Well, upon seeing Shelly drumming away, she'd spend more time there learning things. But other than that, I mean, if she meets with Kinley, she'd spend a little more time wherever Kinley's at. But
Hmm.
then she'd go back
Doing her own thing and stuff like
doing
that.
her own thing.
Okay.
Yeah, you pretty much, like I said, if you caught up with me anywhere, I'd just be running around, sampling food, taking notes. If I ran across the drum thing, I'd probably stop and listen for a little while. And
See Shelly happily drumming away.
Mm.
Yeah.
But yeah, so that, I mean, that's you. It's been going decently well. You settled in with the rest of the troop. Um, it hasn't been effortless. You're still catching yourself every once in a while, having to kind of like resync on the beat. Um, but that solid bit of practice that you put in, um, trying to work it out in your room, paid off big, and you're at least able to kind of. You might not be leading the troop, but you're not holding them back either. You're at least kind of holding your own. As you work through this, and show by show you kind of get used to the routine and where the music is going, and kind of get caught up as you work along, and by the end of a couple of days you're right on sync with everybody else and just sort of picking it up, and then because you nailed that. Let's see, what else are we doing here? Finnegan is on guard duty for the next couple of days. Shelly's got their drum troop. Czar is working up his trinkets the first day. How much effort are you planning to put into, like, running a booth, essentially? Like, are you gonna be hawking wares pretty steady beat, or are you gonna just kind of here and there it, or?
He's going to. I figured he'd probably buy about 5 pounds of iron.
Mm-hmm.
Which
just 5, just 5.
Yeah, just 5.
What? Not 500?
Not 500.
Is it normal value of materials?
Yes.
For D&D? Okay, so that'd be 5 silver for that. The pins he would make would be like an ounce each, so 16 per pound.
Mm-hmm.
And he would try and hawk those for 3 silver each.
Okay.
So a pretty decent profit margin there, hopefully.
Yeah, that's not too bad. So go ahead and let's see here. It's not that. It's not too bad.
D8, add a 0 at the end.
Yeah. Go ahead and make a smith tools check for how well these trinkets turn out.
All right. So that would be 20 plus proficiency plus the tool, so that would be a plus 4 plus 5. Oh, fuck me. Lucky. Lucky again. There we go.
Here you go. So luck comes through for you, and
Been a
Not
while.
important. Not important roll.
Yeah, the trinkets turn out pretty nice. You know, you haven't been to the festival before, so you're not 100% sure what kind of their taste in collectible merchandise is, but you feel like you got a pretty good item on your hand.
Yeah,
So
it's like I said, each there'd be like 10 different pins, and they would represent like kind of like fanfare for each one of the kingdoms, kind of thing.
So go ahead and make a persuasion check at advantage, considering they turned out super nice. For
You
how
got-
well.
You can't call
selling
them
goes.
limited edition. Limited edition.
Oh,
Natural 20. Be limited release, not limited. No, I'm sorry. That's me getting pedantic. So you have a bit of a hot cellar on your hands. You get through the the 5 pounds worth of iron that you picked up. You burn through that batch of pins in relatively short order, and you have people asking like, are you going to restock? Is there a chance to get more? Is this all that there is? Are you going to do a second series? Like people catch on to this much more than you were necessarily like. You're like, I sell a few pins. They're all over it.
Well, if I can, I'll spend the rest of the time up until the ball making more pins and selling them. And of course, well, if you like this, I do take custom orders. My shop is currently located at such and such, and but if my math is right, the first batch would be 24 gold.
Yep.
As you say that, you feel a great disturbance in the force.
I look over my shoulder and just see Bella standing there with one of her magical hammerheads.
Yeah, just giving you the glare of like, don't even. But yeah, so you like I said, you got a bit of a hot cellar on your hands. You burn through the pins that you got on hand. People are asking for more. You hand out shop information. This is about as well as you could have ever hoped.
Yeah.
Your first day being in business to go. You pretty much managed to nail it on the first try, which good for you. So if you're gonna keep up with the demand, or if you're gonna try to meet the demand with supply, it's gonna keep you busy for a while.
Yeah, that's fine.
Like
Money.
you said, it's gonna put money in your pocket, but it's gonna take up a good chunk of your festival leading up to the run up to the ball.
Unfortunately, my flaw is money related. Like, I would take money over saving my friends kind of flaw. So I would spend my time making that money.
Yeah, which is fine, and I'll work out a
yeah, that's fine.
total for how much you make over the course of the week between now and the ball.
Okay.
So that's their time accounted for between now and then. Not entirely deliberately, but as it worked out.
Oh man.
So Kinley and Lucy, the rest of the group are preoccupied in the run up to the ball. Is there anything that you could think of downtime activity wise that would fill your time in a satisfying way? Even if you want to learn a new language, if you want to spend a day with your nose in a library, like anything that you would like to do.
It depends on. I mean, like if there's like a bookshop there, I would peruse through that, those kind of things. Anything, like knowledge related, Kinley would get involved in. She would pass up things like, cheesy festival games and things like that.
Mm-hmm. So there are some, like I said, there's cultural demonstrations and things of that sort going on as well. So there are opportunities to sort of learn more about the culture and traditions of the kingdoms. Some of the stuff that does trace back to before the Empire was really like things that go back a ways. So there is that opportunity. There's
She will definitely do that.
demonstrations of new magical spells that are being prototyped out of Phantalusia. Forge Heart's demonstrations include some of the mechanical things that they've been playing with, new inventions and things are on display. They have a whole kind of like inventor's alley, sort of like an artist alley, but for tinkerers and things of that sort. They're showing off all their fancy, nothing powered because that's all downstairs. None of that comes up.
Yeah.
But they're still showing off things that they could potentially. A few people are making deals for their inventions, and that kind of stuff is going on.
All
People are sort of there's a little wheeling and dealing going on, but it's mostly meant to be informational and sort of a knowledge share. Just every once in a while, if something really jumps out, somebody wants to lock it down and be like, "Hey, we'll make a bunch of these."
I'd look them over, see if there's anything interesting or useful, or someone is touting gun designs, other than mine.
Mm-hmm. So go ahead and make an investigation check. Add advantage because you're doing it at kind of a leisure pace, taking your time and working your way through it.
All right. Investigation. Advantage. 23.
Not bad. So you don't see anything that would be sort of intruding on your patents and copyrights.
It's not even that. If someone else was doing this, and it wasn't my design, that means whoever had brought these to this island was trying to push them for a purpose.
No, I know.
Yeah,
I was
yeah.
being cheeky about it, but you don't see any other kind of munitions or firearm kind of technology on display. It's a lot of quality of life kind of devices, things to sort of help with housework and handiwork for those who aren't magically inclined, people who can't quite muster a prestidigitation cantrip, still need a dishwasher, kind of stuff like that.
So you got like clockwork Roombas and.
Yeah, it's that kind of vibe to what you're seeing. There's a few things that sort of catch your eye in terms of the complexity is pretty advanced. Like this isn't simple clockwork stuff. Like this is pretty heavy duty engineering kind of work going on. But like I said, no kind of like munitions or firearms stuff is sort of proliferating out here. Let's see, what else?
If there's a big sign for Ronco, I skip it.
But those knives, man, you gotta get those knives. What about you, Lucy? What are you kind of poking your head into? Is there something that you feel like you could fill your days with?
Nope. Isn't well, she'd be mostly perusing and watching things and trying to spend her day, like, just looking around, almost snooping, but not really snooping, just watching. And enjoying the festival until people decide to do something. In the meantime, she's just gonna enjoy it. And if she sees anything suspicious, well, good. If she doesn't, well, she'll just enjoy your time then. That's about it for Lucy.
Okay. So, oh, perfect timing. Like literally right as I send her a message, she walks away. I was off on the other tab sending it, and I stick back and like, I'll be right back. Like, God damn it. Okay, so you spend some time kind of moving through the different areas, taking things in. You see all of the kind of fancy inventions and things that are in the Forge Hearth district that you know, like Kinley's definitely combed over this with a fine-tooth comb. If Czar wasn't so otherwise preoccupied, he'd probably be over here too. Just to kind of like see what kind of work is being done in the city, since you haven't really taken the opportunity to, stick your head into a lot of shops. But you, I'm trying to think what you'd get up to here. Go ahead and make a perception check at advantage for me.
Advantage.
Yeah, we're doing things at a slower pace, so you have the opportunity to really soak everything in and stuff. So as the festival's going on and you're kind of wandering about, you do sort of meander off the festival path a bit into
Oops.
some of the like outer parts into the districts themselves, away from the lakeside. Just kind of trying to fill your time wandering about and things like that. And you pick up that there is a sort of like a soapbox preacher type fellow who is all kinds of doom and gloom. He's yelling about the impending apocalypse. The the gods have forsaken us. We've been condemned to our doom. Like, he's very apocalyptic in his preaching. Most people are kind of doing this as they walk by, ignoring him, and he gets a couple jeers from people at the thought of them having been forsaken and all that kind of stuff. But that's something that you catch that's a bit off the everyone else is busy with the festival. It's loud. There's a lot of noise and things like that. But that happened to catch you as while you were off in a side street somewhere.
She'd probably keep close enough to listen to him. See what the hell he'd be shouting about a bit more. But, like, not in a manner that that person would be able to, like, see her, like, oh, she's listening to me, like, ha!
So yeah, so he rants and raves for a fair bit of time. It's not preaching for like, embrace the demon horde. Like, it's not that kind of it's not like secretly a cult recruitment station. But he seems oddly on the ball in terms of referencing what the dome means and how much shit the island is in, and everyone's screwed, and we're like, it's only a matter of time before they come to claim us all. And you get the sense that he, basically, as on top of this topic as you guys are, he seems to be, in terms of like, it's all vague religious mumbo jumbo-y prophecy laden phrasing, but he's knows what the dome is, and he is very much doom and gloomy about what that means, and how screwed everyone is for being inside of it right now. And he's trying to convince people to understand that no, now is not the time for a festival. Now is the time for like panic in the streets and rioting, because we're all gonna die.
Okay, now Lucy has a dilemma. She can either go and maybe fetch somebody else to like talk to this dude, but have him like disappear, or try to talk to him but freaking draw attention to his ruminations. and she's like, "Do I want to do this? Do I not? Can I like put him to the side?" So she's kind of having a little dilemma. So
Maybe
I'm
you should
gonna.
check if he's a fiend first.
Surreptitiously.
Sorry.
Surreptitiously.
So you're saying he's like the anti-zealot of her religion.
The what?
She ran into one of her friends, which was a zealot from Thander. Now she's ran into somebody the exact opposite.
No. She found somebody with a sign that says the end is near,
Yeah.
except they happen to be right.
Yeah, like weirdly, they have the facts. They have their shit straight,
Hey,
even
sometimes
while
conspiracies
rambling.
are real. All right.
Sure.
I think you should join them.
Yeah. Just because you think they're out to get you doesn't mean they're not out to get you.
Turns out they're out to get you.
Oh no! What will I do? I'm gonna have to. I'm gonna roll a d2. 1, she goes and gets somebody. 2, she goes up to the guy and like, "Hey, where'd you get these facts from?" Okay, she goes and tries to find somebody else and hope to God he doesn't disappear.
Okay. Who are you looking to send in there? Are you looking to just grab the first guard you can get your hands on? Or are you looking to send somebody more officially?
More like somebody from the party, probably.
Oh,
To
you're
not-
going looking for another party member.
yeah, not an authority because it's like, okay, nobody's gonna fucking. Well, I guess no. She could get him arrested and they could interrogate him, but that's not very lawful to do that.
Considering they would be breaking the laws of the Empire with that mumbo jumbo they're throwing out religiously, that would be lawful, actually.
Technically, he's breaking Empire law, technically.
Technically, it's not breaking empire law, but he is trying to create civil unrest, right? I could see it like that, like trying to urge them to panic and not do a festival. Maybe.
Okay, so if you're gonna go looking for another party member, you know where Shelly's at. You know Kinley's around kind of nebulously. Finnegan, did you let them know that you're playing guard duty, or did you just go off and do it?
Well, no, you're muted.
At the moment.
I mean, I didn't know it was gonna work, so I haven't told them like, hey, I have this crazy idea that might not work.
Okay.
So until tonight, no one.
Shelly's great with people, so knowing that, she's gonna go try to get Shelly. Have a little more chance to get this dude talking. Cause Shelly friendly, knows how to get to people.
Sounds very evil.
What?
Really know how to get to people. You might be hiding in a safe or behind closed doors, but I know how to get to you.
You judge everything I say.
I'll misty step behind you. I'll be there.
You're a butt. Shut up. Anyway, she's gonna go get Shelly.
So you go and grab Shelly. You happen to catch them in between shows, so they are able to pull themselves away if you want to go running along with Lucy. You can be like, "Hey, I'm busy. I'm in the zone right here." But you're at least in between shows at the moment. If you want to.
Basically, Lucy's gonna pull you to the side and be like, "I found this guy that has his facts straight about the 6, and he keeps rambling about the end, and I don't know if that's a lead on something, but that's definitely suspicious."
Yeah, that sounds kind of weird. Where's he at?
And if Shelly will follow Lucy, Lucy's gonna go back to the spot she found the dude at, and hopefully they're not gone.
I'll let the rest of the the drummers know that they'll be back.
Just 2 minutes. Take 5. Work on a routine without me. So you go running back off to where you saw this guy on his soapbox with his "end is near" sign, and unfortunately, he is not there when you get back.
She does
I'll
have
have Meryl do a flyby and see if she can spot him.
Okay. Go ahead and roll a perception check for that.
Oh man, where'd my character sheet go? There it is.
Oh no.
it disappeared. Oh
Meryl cheap.
no. Well, that's not too bad.
Okay. So, you kind of relay the description as best you can from Lucy through to Meryl and be like, scope the place, see if he's still in close by, that kind of a thing. Meryl does a loop and does not spot him anywhere in like the immediate sort of vicinity. If they've either moved to a different part of town or packed up for the day or got shooed off by guards while you were gone, they're just not where they were.
Hey, then Lucy will look around for guards. Is there guards around that would indicate that he got shooed away? Like, do I see a guard walking by that I could be like, hey, where's the person that was here?
Or is there a booth nearby that a person running it might have seen? Or
It's a little ways away from where most of the booths are lakeside. It's like a sort of just outside of the festival kind of thing, trying to not get themselves in trouble. So there wouldn't be a booth in immediate proximity. You can flag down a guard. There's quite a few on patrol, mostly close to the festival, but there's some. Every district has their guards on patrol, making sure everything's orderly and under control. So you can flag down one of them and kind of pick their brains on the topic a little bit.
And she would near the guard and be like, and tell him, excuse me, sir, could you tell me where the gentleman that was here would have gone to?
And the guard lets you know. I couldn't tell you where that kook lives, but we got to chase him off on a regular basis. He's been out here. We've caught him a couple of times now. Some of the other districts have mentioned seeing him too. He pops up, shouts for a while. We chase him off. It's not enough of a nuisance to bother arresting, but we're starting to get a little tired of his shenanigans. It's a bit ridiculous.
do you know his name?
No, I'm afraid I don't.
I'd hate to make our DM come up with another name.
No, he genuinely doesn't know. They never bother. They just chase him off. He's just a bit of a kook. Nobody gives him much serious attention. You just give him a kick and tell him to get to stepping.
Well, should you see him again today, and I do hope you could spread this amongst other guards, could you perhaps come and fetch either of us? We would greatly appreciate being able to talk to this man.
Sure. I'll mention it about as we make our rounds. It's a bit hit or miss, but he certainly seems determined. For as much as we dissuade him.
Hence why I hope that you bringing it up to attention to the other guards would make us able to have maybe a little chat with this man, since he's so adamant in coming back.
Yeah, like I said, I'll pass it around for you. We'll see what we can turn up on him.
And should you find him, you can go come get us, and then she's gonna give her address, and you can ask for Keeper Lucy Lightbearer.
Okay, we'll do.
Maybe
Get-
that little rope's gonna nudge it along the
So, that's where you get on that. It'll take some time to kind of pull it periphery. Get that spread out to the rest of the guards and have them start to like keep an eye out for him with intent to detain instead of just shooing him off like they have been. So that'll take a little time, but they'll start being on a watch out for him, and he is quite persistent. So there's a good chance that they'll manage to wrangle him before too long. So anything else that you would like to do from there?
Well, she's gonna escort back Shelly back to their drum station if they want to go back, and just have a little chit chat with them, being like, well, if he's that persistent, maybe they'll detain him, and we'll have a chance to interrogate him somehow.
Yeah.
Without
I mean,
anybody
I'd rather just
interfering.
chat with him, but interrogation sounds cool too.
In that case, yes, it would be chatting, but the guards would probably believe it's some kind of an interrogation.
Right
You
back to good cop, bad cop. Right? Fall right back into it. It's effortless. So you head back to the performance stage, settle back in with the troupe for the rest of your shows, knowing that you may get pulled by Lucy again if she gets in there on this weird doomsday prophet.
Street preacher.
Yeah, street preacher. And let's see. I think that just about covers us, at least for the first day for you guys. Everyone else has kind of their various downtimey stuff to kind of carry them through. If you want to do little side bits here and there, you'll be more than able to along the way. But we'll go ahead and wrap the session here and pick up next week with sort of the trail end of the first few days of the festival, the impending ambassador's ball, which should be a heck of a party, and then we'll roll on from there. I did it again. I was gonna stop saying it, and I said it again.
Rolling.
I do.
Get
I
this
don't.
campaign rolling.
It's all about building that inertia. It's all about inertia. So thank you to everyone for tuning in, and to my players for putting up with my shenanigans for yet another session. Look forward to seeing everyone back here for episode 21 next week.
What?
Thank you for putting up with us.
Yes.
Yeah. Oh, the sigh. Oh.
Yeah. So, are we going to hop in on anybody or
Not tonight.
raid or whatever? No. Okay. So then
Alright.
we will call it an evening here. Good night, everyone, and we'll see you next week.
Goodbye, everybody. Hello, Ravnica. Friday, back to Nithia. Saturday, nothing in the morning for now, and Chaos reigns again at night. Sunday, we come back to trying not to die to Illithids, and Tuesday, right back here. So until then, we'll see y'all next time. Remember, still trying to hit that sub goal so we can give away some awesome Wormwood merchandise. We also follow our goal, giving away some awesome dice. So spread the word, hit that follow button, hit that sub button if you're not already. Another way,
Stay safe.
Stay
Practice
filled.
social distancing by playing D&D online.
That's right.
It's working for us.
Yeah.
Take care, everyone. We are out.